What, 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 what is going on, guys? What is happening? Let's see here. I still don't think the stream has gone out yet. I'm waiting for the notification. Gotta wait on the verification. Doesn't say I'm live yet. There we go. Now it says I'm live. Yo, so check this out. DW Fest starts this Sunday, 10/20/2019. My email address is in the description below if you guys would like to join me. We are starting at 11 a.m. and going until 5 p.m. on Sunday. If you guys would like to join that event, it is free, open to the public. Bring what you fly. I don't care what it is. Bring what you fly. Okay, if you guys want to come out and join us, we normally have a pretty good turnout. It's not too shabby. This has been a weird year because I kind of threw it on everybody without doing it like a month in advance and letting everybody know, but it is what it is. So I'm going to wait for a couple people to jump in here. We'll see if Steve and the guys can make it, but we got some discussions to talk about. Also, if you have not subscribed to my new YouTube channel, check it out. It is Drone Worship Reloaded. You can just search that in the YouTube search bar, drop a subscription on my new YouTube channel, and we're going to be doing a little difference of content on there versus here. So, but DW Fest is coming up, like I said. Description below has my email address in it, and we'll be good to go. Let's see what the comments are saying here. So, all right, nobody commenting yet. We've come across some interesting stuff going on here, and thanks to Steve Carpenter, I was able to get to the bottom of some of this, and there's maybe something that needs to be addressed here with the older GPS platforms, the older birds, for instance, Phantom 3 standards, anything I think from maybe 2015 and basically backwards. I'm not saying all drones, but if your drone does not have GLONASS, for those of you guys who don't know, that is Russian satellite use. It runs parallel to GPS, which we consider GPS being the American satellites that have the ability to do nav guide. Well, GLONASS runs along with us. There's also Galileo, and I forget what Chinese is, Dufang A or something like that, something weird. They have a strange name for their satellite systems, but I came across an interesting scenario here that I kind of wanted to talk about with everybody. And for the past month and a half, I've noticed, actually probably more like 2 months, I've noticed that I started getting less and less satellites able to connect to my older platforms. And so I was on last night. We did a 5-hour stream with me and Steve. I was taking the solos apart. I was switching the GPS systems on them. I was activating them, and I never saw more than 7 satellites, which is really, really, really low. 7 satellites is extremely low for any kind of lock. For some reason, guys, I'm not seeing comments. If you guys are posting, let me see here. I know I threw this live stream at you at kind of a weird time, but let's see if I can pull this up. I've been having a lot of issues with StreamYards lately for some reason. So let's see if anybody's actually typed in the comment section here. Nope. Okay. Still sitting solid. So anyways, what's happening is they are decommissioning older satellites. Have you ever wondered why the Garmin Nuvies were taken out and all that stuff? Garmin's don't really work unless you buy like a newer one. The protocols that they run on, like this GPS accuracy, like HDOP, stuff like that, these older satellites that have been running these older protocols are actually being decommissioned now. The SpaceX program started doing this. Tater, what's going on, man? So a stable lock, I think, on a drone, a good, stable, steady lock is 10 satellites or more. Now, that's running GPS and GLONASS. Now, if you have GPS and GLONASS active, you will find that most of you guys can probably connect to 20 satellites or more. That's because you're running parallel GPS systems. You're running basically a dual receiver is what it is. It's able to pick up GLONASS, and it's able to pick up standard US satellite connection. So I noticed that with the solos, and this is probably going to plague the Phantom 3 standards as well, unless you had the advanced model, which was introduced to GLONASS. What's happening is they're phasing out and they're decommissioning a lot of these satellites that used to run these nav protocols. And so what's happening is, if you go, I'm going to give you a prime example here, okay? I want to show you how bad this has really gotten for people that are running, like even in my area. I'm not saying everybody, but even in my area. Check this out. If you go to UAV forecast, right? says I currently have, and this is really low, even right now, and I think this is connected to, yes, okay, include GLONASS sats. This is really horrible right now, what's going on with our satellite stuff. So even if I'm connected to GPS and GLONASS on here, you will notice down at the bottom where it says visible satellites 9.0 to 9. Let me show you what happens when I turn off GLONASS. And just to show you that's active, that GLONASS is currently active with US GPS satellite system link up. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Sorry, I know this is really rough with the glare. Let's do this. I'll turn this off for a second, even if it gets dark. That way you can see this a little easier. And you notice down at the bottom, I have GLONASS turned on, and I'm going to go ahead and turn GLONASS off. So now you can see that GLONASS is officially off. GLONASS is off. And look at how many satellites I'm picking up now. Visible satellites, 4 satellites. That means that the older GPS systems are being deactivated. They're being decommissioned and the protocols are dropping off. So those of you that are running on a solo right now, if you're not running a GLONASS setup like M8N, MRO board, any one of those newer platforms, here GPS setups, any of that stuff, you are going to notice a severe drop in satellites that you can connect to. Horribly, and it's only going to get worse as they continue decommissioning these old protocols that they run on for INAV. So after a lot of studying this stuff last night with Steve, we realized that if you go to like gps.gov or wherever Steve went, I kind of wished he was in here, honestly. But anyways, Bree Smith, what's going on? If you go to like gps.gov, Ron, how's it hanging, buddy? We found out that through the SpaceX program, they're actually decommissioning a lot of the old satellites and they're putting up new ones. So this means that if you own a Phantom 3 standard or something previous to that, right, 2015 and back, if you're not getting more than, let's say, 6, 7, or 8 satellites, you need to start looking into a newer GPS system to put on your bird. Now, luckily for me, and I can only speak for me, the Solo is an open source platform. So let's see what she says. I am looking to buy my first drone for vlogging. I only have around 300 to spend. Any suggestions? I absolutely do, Bree. You should purchase yourself a Bebop 2 FPV package. Bebop 2. You can get them refurbished. They kind of got hiked up in price again, but if you just search around on eBay for a refurb package, you can normally get them for around $250 to $270. So they used to be about $225 refurbished, and they sold a ton of them. But coming into Christmas, you might start finding some more Bebop 2 deals. Excellent drone for vlogging with. But anyways, back to the original thing here. So like I said, if you go to UAV forecast in your area, right, and you turn off GLONASS, you can see that my efficiency of satellites has dropped to 4 with GLONASS not active. So if I activate GLONASS again, here's what happens. Shoot straight up to 9 visible satellites that are usable. Let me back this out here. So now I have 9 and sats locked, not 9. That's actually still really low for this area, but like I said, there's cloud cover out right now. But the point I'm trying to make, guys, is these older GPS systems are phasing out. And the only way you're going to stay relevant or have a good GPS connection with your older birds is to find out if there is an option available for your GPS upgrades. Okay, now I'm going to show you the one for the Solo. For anybody curious, a GPS upgrade with a very high output receiver, right? 5 dB. The original Solo one was only 1.5 dB. The new one from M Robotics is 5 dB, and it runs all 4 GPS protocols. Runs GPS, which is US. It runs GLONASS. It also runs Galileo, and it runs the Chinese satellite. So all 4 satellites you can pick up. That means that if I put this board in my Solo and activate all 4, I should have almost over 40 satellites connected to it. But check this out. I'm going to share this link with you for those of you guys that want to purchase this. If you own a Solo, I encourage it from this point forward because I don't think you really have much of an option here for the future. So if you go to mrobotics.io, this is all for Pickhawks users, basically, fixed wing gliders, anyone running on Pickhawk software, Arducopter, stuff like that, okay, Ardupilot. If you go to their website here, you can actually see that they have autopilots, GPS sensors. If you click on GPS, Okay, and you come on down, just keep scrolling down. You're looking for the U-Blocks upgrade. So here it is, the MRO GPS U-Blocks Neo M8N 3DR Solo upgrade. This is actually their newer version of it. They had an older version. This is the newer version of it now, and it only costs $49 with free shipping. It ships in 5 days. I just bought one. Thank you to Steve Carpenter. Heard I was having GPS problems. He donated $50 to my PayPal account, knowing that I'm not working right now and haven't been working. So thank you very much, Steve, for doing that. Big shout outs to you, sir. Let's talk about this GPS unit real fast. The price is $50, totally worth it. Okay. This one says it's out of stock. Availability, out of stock. Oh, I hope I didn't just buy the last one here, guys. I'm sure they'll get more if they get enough interest in it. I would say just reach out to them. Newer version. We added in micro USB port, which is really cool. So now you can connect to your GPS and tell it which satellites you want it to pull from. That is awesome. Enables U-Blocks features via U Center. The power of the device. Please refer to this document if you have driver issues. We also added in the latest tail glass antenna tuned for GPS GLONASS, which provides a higher gain compared to its predecessor from 1.5. This is what I was talking about, 1.5 to 5 dB. The MRO GPS Neo M8N is a professional grade, notably robust GPS system capable of using USA GPS, Russian GLONASS, European Galileo, constellation at the same time. You can optionally enable Chinese Beidou, I guess that's what it is, Beidou satellite connection constellation in exchange for disabling GLONASS. So this is a very powerful GPS upgrade for the Solo. You can do some serious navigation missions with this without ever having to worry about dropping a GPS signal link. So what I'm trying to say here, guys, is that this is available for the Solo. I can't help you with your DJI products that are phasing out. You're going to have to look into that yourself. But I think, like I said, you really need to start looking at options that are available to you, because as they decommission these older satellite protocols that, you know, you're starting to notice, like I said, with Garmin Newbie was a huge GPS, nav guide system that people used to buy and put in their cars and all that stuff. They even had to upgrade the Google Maps to be able to use GLONASS now so that you could continue using your navigation stuff. And that happened, 2-3 years ago now. But your older platforms don't have the option to do this. You have to switch the GPS out to something else that has GLONASS capable setup. So unfortunately, guys, you Phantom 3 pilots, you 3DR Solo pilots, you have to start looking at other options. Now, like I said, the Solo is open source, so there are options available. But for the DJI users, I'm not sure quite what to tell you guys. I hope you can get something figured out for yourself. I really do. But as of right now, man, this is turning into a really interesting situation. So let's see what tips and tricks. Was Gusto Fusion last night. Awesome. Big D Troll, I'm going to go ahead and let's see. Sup, Big D Troll. I like that. I got your message, brother. Excellent. I'm glad you did, man. Bree is a... All right. Bree Smith looking to buy. Yep. All right, guys. Sorry, I'm just trying to read through the comments here. So DW Fest is a drone show. Yes, it is. DW Fest is definitely a drone show. It's an event that I host twice a year. This is my 3rd year hosting DW Fest. I invite all pilots. It's free to the public to come out and join us at the flight location. Have some fun. Show off your bird. Bring all your platforms out there that you want to fly and just have some fun. So if that's something you guys want to get into, I say go for it, man. Should have a pretty good turnout. So... Kiwi, you want to come in here, buddy? Let's see. Can't post that link. I don't want to post that. Let's do this. Big Troll says, what time? 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. I hope to see you out there, Big D Troll. Let's see. Copy. Mad Kiwi. Let's do this, bro. Would you recommend upgrading from Rev B? That's the problem. I am running on Rev B. I'm not getting more than 6 or 7 sats. If you're still getting decent satellite connection right now, then don't really worry about it. But if you start seeing over time GPS fall off, if you start going, oh man, it's jumping in and out of numbers really quickly, like you go up to 9, then you drop back to 7, up to 9, back to 7, up to 8, back to 7, and then you hold it like 8, it's definitely time for an upgrade. So as they decommission the satellites that are using these older protocols, you're just going to start running out of sats that these things can run on. Like I said, all the newer birds from basically like 2016 moving forward are GLONASS capable. So I wrecked them. I've wrecked them. I wrecked my Phantom, so I need to replace it with something better. I hear you. What's happening, brother? What do you think? Do you have UAV forecast on your phone? Oh, wait, you're an iPhone user, aren't you? You're not. Download UAV forecast. I want to see what you get over there.
I don't use Apple because they're to keep doctors away and you keep your teachers happy.
10-4.
I got a old 2-year-old Samsung Note 8.
Ron, the problem with that is it's not going to help you acquire more GPS satellites. You know what I'm saying? Unless the unit itself is capable and they've had it turned off, GLONASS capabilities, and they've had it shut off for whatever reason, then firmware could activate that if it was something that wanted to be added in later. But unfortunately, firmware does not correct the problem. It has to have the correct antenna systems on these GPS to pick up these other satellites. They also have to be programmed to do it. So that's why I said if you just buy an eBay M8N or MRO board, right, you're not doing yourself any favors from eBay, because there are drivers that have to be installed, parameters that have to be changed, programming that has to be done for those to be working correctly. For an extra $25 more, you can just go to M Robotics and they have it all done for you. So for $50, guys, $49.99, it's totally worth it if you're a solo user. Don't put yourself through the hassle and the struggle. Trust me. I will show you the difference in satellites. Okay, Kiwi, talk to me, buddy.
So what is this? UAV and Play Store or something, is it? UAV something?
Bree, I don't know why you got blocked. I did not block you. Who did somebody block Bree?
That was me.
Oh, why? What happened?
Just thinking she was a troll. She was in Mitch's show asking the same questions.
Oh.
And then coming into this show. I don't know if she's following someone or not. I don't know.
Gotcha.
But
all right, well,
come and get me. I'm in New Zealand.
So far, she's playing ball. We'll let it roll.
That's all right. Well, I'm sorry then. So what is it that you want me to see what I've got?
Download UAV forecast.
UAV.
Bree, I can understand that. She says she's just looking for input from other people. That makes sense, I guess. Yeah.
Well, you've just been to 2 really good shows. Waste of time going into Ken Heron's show because there's about 300 people in there and you just...
Yeah, you're never going to get your comment seen,
right? Be locked. UAV forecast for DJI quadcopter and UAV. Is that the one?
Mike Gilbert, I don't comment on rumors, man. I'm not a unicorn chaser. I wait until there's hard evidence. I refuse to chase unicorns. That would be the one. Go ahead and install that.
Installing.
Thomas, what's up, man? Ron, you're more than welcome to join us. Thomas, I know that you're probably going to say no, but feel free to pop in. If your camera is not active, I will not let you on panel. That is just the first rule of thumb. We've had some troll incidents in other people's streams, and there's just some trolls following other streams around. If your camera's not active or I don't know you personally, you probably will not be coming on the show. So,
what happened to the 5-hour show yesterday, Dad?
But yeah, no, well, I told you we were going to delete that because of the end. The links we were posting at the end was definitely, dude. And I almost just on accident posted it again. I didn't realize I still had it copied. It was the gore one where I was going to right click and I almost hit paste and I was like, uh-oh. People are going to watch some dude get his head cut off by a chainsaw. Building. What's up, buddy?
They can't find me.
Really?
Finding your location.
All right.
Finding.
Give it a sec. Yeah, guys, the only time I talk about drones is when I'm positive it is a thing that is happening. Okay, so let's see how many satellites you got. Oh, that's really bright. You got to turn your brightness down.
It was good there before.
You know, your brightness is too bright now.
Anyway, satellites. Visible stats, I got 19.
19. That is with GLONASS. Yeah, GLONASS active. Now, click on visible satellites as a button, and then turn off GLONASS and tell me how many satellites you get.
Satellites, 19. I've got no idea. Settings, is it?
No. Go back to your main page, right, where it shows all the stuff. And where it says visible satellites, click it like it was a button.
Right. Turn off
GLONASS. Galileo shouldn't be active. Just turn off GLONASS and tell me how many satellites you have.
9. There's minimum. Oh, 12 visible.
Unicorn Hitman. Let me see a face. I got to see a face attached here. Who do we got? Okay. What's up, bro?
Driving, man.
Driving. All right.
Trying to make it to your show on Sunday. Your drone meetup.
What is that noise? Oh, Kiwi. Okay. Hey, do you see what I'm saying now? As soon as you drop off, GLONASS, what happened? Oh, he muted himself. So he went from 19 to 12 satellites. Like that. He's got a pretty good phone. What do you think, man? I'm going to do the same thing again. We're going to redo the same test. I'm going to reset my UAV forecast parameters. Throw all these extra apps away. I'm going to pull up UAV forecast. I'm going to show you what I'm getting with GLONASS active. I'm getting 10 satellites, 10.1 that I can connect to. Now I'm going to click on visible satellites, retract GLONASS settings, and push back. How many satellites are active now? 4. 4 satellites are usable. How the hell am I going to fly with 4 satellites? Jeez,
your drone's not even going to take off with 4 satellites.
It's not. It requires 6 to even say it's kind of okay to take off.
Right.
Be aware, guys, if you're running on an older platform, start looking at ways to upgrade your GPS. Go on the forums, ask questions. People are asking right now, can I take the advanced Phantom 3 Advanced GPS that has GLONASS capabilities and put it on the Phantom 3 Standard? Word on the street is that people are saying no, not yet. It doesn't mean somebody won't solve that problem later on. Okay? If you're running a solo, all you have to do is go to the M-Robotics site. I'm going to screen share it again. Go to M-Robotics site. We're going to start over from scratch here just to make sure the people that just popped in have this. So you go to M-Robotics. All right. This is the website. This is for Pickhawks users, which is what we are. If you're flying a solo, you're running Pickhawks. Go to GPS sensors and more. Scroll down until you see MRO GPS U blocks Neo M8N 3DR Solo upgrade. This is an extremely powerful GPS plug and play system. You just plug this in where the old one is, put the copper shield back on, put your solo back together, bam. You got as many satellites as you want. You can choose between 4 different satellites. Most of your DJI products won't connect anything past 3, which is Galileo, right? Actually, China probably is allowing it, but they have to run parallel. You can only run 3 at a time. So I'm not sure if you want to be running UK sats over there. But yes, so click on it and add it to the cart. It says it's currently out of stock. I hope that's not true because I maybe just bought the last one. At the moment, they'll probably have to restock. But yes, everybody that's plugged it into their solo at this point, March 6, 2019, 3DR Solo major upgrade. Richard Bogg from Danville, blah, 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 blah. This is a very easy upgrade for the GPS unit inside the head of the 3DR Solo. Why I say major is because it gives you a range of satellites and a major major boost. Well worth the money and effort to make the change. So for those of you that do run the 3DR Solo, I suggest you purchase the MRO board. I would contact the company and find out when they're going to get more in stock. Okay. Ron and Unicorn Hitman are back, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I downloaded that UAV forecast.
Yes. How many satellites you getting?
I'm getting 10.9.
That's with GLONASS active?
No, where is that setting at?
So right on the home page where you see it says visible satellites as a green button.
Yep.
Click on it and turn off GLONASS and tell me how many you're getting.
Down to 4.9.
Down to 4.9 satellites that are usable.
No, that's inside.
That doesn't matter. Go outside, man. You'll barely clear 6 or 7. It's the same here. It's weird, right?
Really? I'm going to go check it out.
Yeah. All right. Now, Kiwi, you're inside, correct?
Yep.
So you're getting 12 with GLONASS active or off?
GLONASS, gate, whatever it is. It's turned off.
GLONASS active? Yeah. Turned off?
No, it's off.
That's pretty good.
Off.
You're still doing pretty good over there then. What? Big Troll, how do I enter to win? Who's giving things away? Big Troll is funny. Mike B.
So,
All right,
Dan,
so
your
we're
show is your DW Fest is on Sunday from 11 to 5, right?
11 to 5, yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm on my way, man. I'm driving. I got a 1,000-mile drive, so I'm coming.
1,000-mile drive.
See, told you guys, man. Some people come from all over the place. Craziness. All right, Ron, what do you got?
Didn't change a point.
That's what I'm. Now, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for those of you that are running, look, man, I'm not pulling stuff out of my butt. I'm showing you that this is a realistic thing that's happening. Yeah. All right. You may sometimes get good connection and be able to fly. I doubt you're going to be getting too many satellites, though, so just bear that in mind. 6 is very low. That's a very unstable lock. All right. My Solo won't even take off with 4. Go ahead.
I've got one thing. It might say I'm good to fly and all that sort of thing. I've got heaps of satellites and that, but it's blowing like a bastard outside.
Does it tell you your wind based on your location on the app?
I didn't even bother because I can look outside and it's not good. But
building, yes, this Sunday, brother, 11 a.m. 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Sulphur Springs Water Tower. Bring a chair. It's hot. I do have waters, but if you want to eat something or a snack, just bring it with you when you come out. I have Cigar City Multi-Rotor says they might show up. The Mighty Thor, for some weird reason, I decided to invite the Mighty Thor. He's been pretty prevalent in the Florida area for quite some time. All right, what do you got there?
It says not good to fly. Come on.
Dude, I'm telling you, turn your brightness down on your phone. It almost has to be negative. You gotta like almost turn it down to its lowest setting.
Oh God, here we go. I've got too much shit on this phone.
Yes, Bree, and by the way, Bree, it does connect to GLONASS, so you don't have to worry about it. It does have GLONASS settings. You should be able to get 19 to 20 satellites with the Bebop 2 without having to make any upgrades.
What are you getting in your house, Dan?
Oh, with GLONASS off?
Yeah, on or off?
Yeah, I'll tell you what it is. 4.
Okay.
I go outside, I get 5 or 6. That's it. And then as soon as I activate GLONASS, skyrockets.
You're still too bright there, Kiwi, but it looks like 20.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's with GLONASS on, correct?
Correct.
No? Hang on. All right, turn it off. There we go.
$12 again, right? Yeah,
Oh,
see, he's doing the best out of everybody right now. You see what I mean? And that's the same thing that Greg said to me earlier. I was talking to Greg, Oz by Drone, right?
Yeah.
He said the same thing. He said, I'm getting 20 satellites. And then as soon as he turned it off, he went to 12. But people in the States, our own GPS systems aren't working for us, man. How the hell am I supposed to fly my solo?
Dan, what is the Galileo?
Galileo is, God, man. What was I just reading about that? Hold on a sec. I was trying to look them all up. Galileo's like, let me do this. I'll tell you in 1 sec what Galileo is.
If I turn that on,
You should get a lot.
oh yeah, I'm getting up in the house. I'm getting like 17.
Yeah, it's European. Galileo's European satellites.
Okay.
So GLONASS is Russian, Galileo is European, and Beidou is Chinese, and then GPS is American.
What's GNSS?
I have no idea, man.
Google that because I can't do it while I'm driving.
Okay.
But because the reason I ask is I don't want to get off topic, but in construction we use GPS for mapping and all that. So all the equipment has GPS on it, and it all runs off of GNSS.
It's just a standard term. It says global navigation satellite system. Short would be like GPS.
Well, it runs off of GLONASS, GNSS, and then the Galileo. So
right,
we use all those, but we've been having problems in construction, just like we have in drones. So I can attest to what you're saying.
Bring pizza. I brought pizza the last 2 years and barely anybody ate it. So we'll see. Yeah, well, we'll see. By the time the pizza sits for 2 hours, nobody's interested in the pizza anymore. So we'll see.
I'm interested in flying FPV for the first time. That's going to be fun.
Which I'm going to let you do.
Yeah. Well, I want to learn that because, never done it before. Plus, I think getting the goggles on and looking instead of actually flying, by sight and by GPS, it's going to be different.
Well, you're leaving DW Fest with an acro capable small micro whoop that still costs like $80. Okay, I'm giving you like 4 batteries with it. I can't guarantee how good they are. The charger, and a Fly Sky transmitter with a trainer cord, so you can start using the flight simulators.
So I just need some goggles. That's
goggles. So you're getting yourself set up, man. I'm trying to
where can I stop and buy some goggles at on the way?
Oh boy,
Hobbytown, USA or something.
Yo, it's going to be expensive, man. You sure you want to do that? It's so much cheaper to order online.
Sorry, Dan.
Yes.
Dan, I'm sick of looking at my face.
He said I'll eat it by then. I wanted to show your beautiful face. Is that not okay? Okay, fine.
I've shaved. I'm still wearing the same sweat top. I've been doing nothing. So
what do you guys think about this? How come they didn't tell anybody they were doing this? And apparently a big portion of the reason for this is the SpaceX program.
It's conspiracy. The government's plotting things against us, and they just want us to be minions. Me.
They're going to care about you or me. They're going to do what they want.
It's sad.
It is.
It's sad. It's really sad that they would. It's almost like phasing out the old technology is what they're attempting to do here. They only want ADS-B capable systems is how it looks like they're trying to smack us around. As much as I don't like to say that, that's what it feels like. They're trying to cap all the old systems that don't have ADS-B on them.
I'm not worried, but my eyebrows were raised the other day. I wonder 2 years from now, let's use a fictitious number, 2 years from now, where drones are going to be at, because everybody and their brother is trying to shut things down. We get that, was it the congressman or the senator in Utah right now that is trying to permit anyone with a drone of flying over private property. So,
yeah, we were talking about that. That's crazy too.
What the heck?
Well, they'll never do it because if they do that, there'll be a lot of problems with everyone with private property going to be aiming for it, and it's just going to cause a massive issue for personal aircraft as well as helicopter pilots and tourists. And it's not going to happen, man. They'll never let it fly. Go ahead.
And the reason I believe that, early on in my career, one of the senators of Pennsylvania, back in late 80s. He was in a small fixed-wing aircraft, and they were flying into Philadelphia. And I was working a paramedic unit come out, and we actually saw the helicopter spin around in front of us, and he didn't think anything about it. My partner and I were going out for lunch, and 5 minutes later, we get dispatched to this mass casualty incident in a schoolyard. What this helicopter did was went out and flew underneath a small fixed wing because apparently they had landing gear issues. It wasn't coming down. The helicopter got sucked up into the fixed wing. The two of them crashed together and come down into a schoolyard during recess.
Oh my God!
Oh, dude, it was ugly. But the moral of the story was everybody in that entire Philadelphia area, a little bit west of Philadelphia, said, "Oh no, there will never be another aircraft that will fly over our township and our community ever again." And the FAA is like, "Yeah, I don't think so." So,
I don't want to get off subject with you, Ron or Dan, but I can attest to that because I actually have a North Carolina Department of Transportation pilot certificate. And that's the weird part about North Carolina is it's exactly what you guys are talking about. They, even if you've got a 107, in order to fly anywhere in the state of North Carolina, you have to have a Department of Transportation pilot certificate, which is kind of like they're being their own FAA. And they have a law in North Carolina, it's searchable, that you cannot film private property from an aircraft or a drone and then publicize it publicly on any platform without without the owner's consent. So you can fly a drone over their property, but if you're filming, for your YouTube video or whatever, anywhere in North Carolina, whatever property is in the shot of the drone, when you put it on YouTube, you have to have written permission from the owner in order to post that, or you can be fined by the state, and that that owner can raise issues. So that is happening.
But how can they do that? Let's say you're filming something in the air, like you're filming a new airplane out or something. When you sit there and film that thing, sit and think about how many hundreds of properties that are actually in your background.
Let me ask a question real quick. Is Bree still in here? Because I forgot Tech Rabbit does this, but here you go. For anybody who's been wanting a Bebop 2, they're $99 with refurbished with Sky Controller 2 and FPV goggles. $100 right now. Controller 2.
9TO is from New Zealand too, so there's two of us here. Cool.
Check it out. Tech Rabbit selling them off. Parrot drone was smart. Blah blah blah. Results in 2 year. Blah 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 blah. Anyways, they're selling off the whole FPV package.
That's cheap
for $99 right now, refurbished.
Yeah, so if Bree is for real, then she's all over that, right?
Absolutely.
You want to buy 3 of them, Bree? Keep 2, give 1 away. There you go.
Yeah. Just
free shipping, no taxes.
Wow.
Just come to DW Fest, and then you can get all the information you need.
I think if Bree went to DW Fest, people would be taking photos of her and not flying FPV drones or anything.
Yeah, based on her profile picture on YouTube, she definitely needs to be doing better than 3 subscribers.
And things will be rather chilly in Florida, are
they? 80 degrees.
No, man, heck no. It's like, dude, right now it's 76 degrees. It's pretty average. During the day, it's still upwards of almost 90.
I can't wait because I'm freezing to death. I got the heat on, the heated seat on. These leather seats with heat is amazing. I got my hoodie on. It's like 27 degrees where I'm at right now. So I'm all over some Florida heat.
Yeah, dude, if I had $100 right now, I'd buy 2 or 3 of these packages.
Brian, I got to ask, how are they going to enforce that? Was it South Carolina? And how can they enforce that?
My service, I couldn't hear you. You're breaking up.
Oh, Piss off, you fucking
All right.
notification.
One more time. What was the question?
I guess my question is, how can they enforce that? You mentioned, was that South Carolina? I mean, how in the world can they enforce that?
North Carolina. Yeah, I'll show you what I've got here, and it's
I
quite
believe you.
interesting.
How in the world can they enforce that, though?
Oh, those dogs!
Well,
Look, they changed it last.
You have
Sorry.
your you've got your 107 that you have to have, but then you have to have this North Carolina Department of Transportation license. That's just, it's on, you just put it in the same package as your 107, and if you're flying, you have, if any Department of Transportation officer or police officer or whatever approaches you in North Carolina, you got to have that. And whenever that storm came through, whenever we had the hurricane and we were in North and South Carolina doing power line inspections, that was one of the things that I had to get through the company before I could even fly. And they specifically told us, it's a North Carolina statute, to go look at the statute and print it off so that you know the law. You always have to have your information correct. You can't politically correct a police officer or a Department of Transportation worker. So we had to print it off, and it's a North Carolina statute, and it says you can fly a drone anywhere, can't take off or land from any private property. You have to own the property, or you have to have property permission. And that includes, like if you were to take off from, somebody's backyard, or if it was from the side of the road or whatever, you technically have to have permission from the Department of Highways because it's their property. It's ridiculous. And, public parks, I'm not really for sure. I didn't read the law on that, but it said if you upload any images from the air in the state of North Carolina, you have to have written permission from the property owner to display that on any public platform.
Wow.
So I don't know how, they got a COA to do inspections for cell phone towers and power line infrastructure. But, obviously they're not uploading that to a public platform. But I don't know how in the world that you would get, 3,000 acres of shot in your footage, in your drone footage, and get written permission from all of those owners in order to be able to put that on your YouTube channel. It's nuts.
I'm gonna be honest with you, 9-2. There's no reason to talk about it because they're not really hosting the Phantom 3 anymore, the Pro. So talking about it would be like kicking a dead horse. It's unfortunate DJI decided not to step up to the plate and fix the stress cracks that were caused by vibrations from the motors. It's been a known thing for the past year and a half, but it's not. Unfortunately, they've already made their decision. There's nothing they're going to do about it. It is really stupid that they can do that and not have repercussions, but I mean, it is what it is, man. You can kick them in the mouth, but the drone's not even being produced anymore. So as far as they're concerned, they don't really care. $249 Bebop at Tech Rabbit. There you go, building. Jumper. I should say building. Jumper. Well, that's something that you could talk about. P4 does it too, huh? Interesting. I didn't know that. It is, like I said, it is a known fact, and I think a lot of it happens to do with how tight the motors are put in. They're not really doing torque specs on any of this stuff like you would with a car. You don't want to over torque it because then it causes vibrations in the plastic, causing microfractures. They turn into bigger ones over time. Right. So I don't know, man. Just seems kind of pitiful to me that DJI would have those issues, but
if they have vibration problems with the motors, you can get really, really, really tiny little O-rings that you can put in
soft mount,
like a shocky.
Right, soft mount the motor.
Yeah,
that's what we do with FPV to keep pressure cracks and stress on the frames.
Yeah,
soft mount the motors, keep the vibration levels down.
Come on, 9, you're a Kiwi, you can fix it.
I know we're kind of jumping around on subjects, Dan, but I'm even seeing in the commercial aviation side where the laws are changing every day. Every day I go to work, simple things like the one airport that we go to very frequently. They literally now are on 3 sides of that airport. The public has raised heck about noise abatement, coming into the airport. It's like we got one approach left.
Right.
It's like if they ban that 4th section, it's like, how are we going to get in there? It's the laws are changing every day. The public is complaining, and that's what's happening. And I think when you started initially talking about the GPS systems, I think with the government, they're going to start knocking down the GPS satellite capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting to worry where the drone community is going to be in a couple of years. I really do.
I'm already there, but the problem is I'm getting so much more frustrated now because it's like, do I really want to continue pursuing this? It's a fun hobby, but do I want to continue down this road? Because they're not doing anything to help us out. They're certainly not changing things for the better. They're only changing things so that it helps them, so they don't have to deal with as much. See what I'm saying? Whereas with us, it's like we feel all the effects of it, but they really don't care. So the question is, how much stress are you as a pilot, as a hobby, as a hobbyist, as somebody who's in this, are willing to put up with until you finally just say, that's it, I've had enough. This is more stress than it's worth. And that's what they want you to do. They want you to do that. They want you to walk away. There's a reason why they're making this so difficult on us, because they just want it to stop. It wasn't a big deal at first until everybody started buying them and they took off like cell phone technology. Then everybody had to have a drone, and then everybody's abusing them, and then everybody's doing crazy stuff with them, and then it became an issue. They only address things when they become an issue.
That's the problem in the news media. You're hearing more bad. You don't hear about the drone that found the little old lady that wandered out of the nursing home, or and they found her by drone. You're hearing more about the idiots that fly around airports and go into NFCs and do all this stupid stuff, and it doesn't hurt that one person. It hurts everybody.
Everybody, right?
And that's why I think I have a fear that where are we going to be at in 2 years?
I'm honestly, dude, I'm ready. If it kicks, it kicks. It is what it is. I'll part it out and I'll build something else out of all this other stuff. I really don't care. Maybe I'll make a GPS powered boat that runs on propellers. How sick would that be? And amplify the range and just cruise it across the lake. What are they going to say? Oh, you drove it out of range? It's like, whatever, man.
But no, Brian, I don't know you that well, but I understand that's a good part of your income that you're flying. You're doing the inspections. That's a good part of your income.
Yeah, it's right now it's about half of my income, but the previous 2 years it was 100% of my income. And that's the reason why it's 50% now, because of the way that the way that things are going, because it's just tough, and then again, not off subject, but the Matrice M210 version 2.0 that everybody got excited about is having nothing but problems. And I'm sure Above and Beyond Drones can comment on that if he's watching, because he's dealing.
I'm bringing him in. I'm bringing him in if he wants to join. I think he wants to probably touch on this subject, our original subject matter, because I don't think he heard the beginning of this.
Yeah, well, I'm seeing it because, I'm getting offered through the company that I work for to go to Texas and inspect cell phone towers for, like a month, and the money's lucrative, but there's not any work on the Florida coast right now for power line inspections, because they only give 500 miles out this year due to COAs, and last year they gave out 1,500 miles. So the COA problem that they're having with a lot of the tech out there, so it's never ending, and it's getting tougher and tougher. So that's why I want to get into the FPV thing, and, so that I can do my own deal, fly around, have a good time, and I can get some sick shots with a GoPro mounted on top of it, and then it takes off. Yeah, eventually.
That's coming to an end too, man. Unfortunately, the GPS, the FPV drones have to follow the same guidance that accordances, rules, and laws that are in effect for GPS platform. I think Jim can actually attest to that. About they still want ADS-B for even the smaller platforms, even the FPV. They want a way to be able to track these things.
Yeah, and have you seen that idiot in Utah? I mean, I hate to speak about our representatives like that, but there's a senator in Utah who wants to put it in command of local cities the first 200 feet, which the Supreme Court already ruled that 83 feet is the limit on a homeowner's air rights. But let me ask you something. My city, okay, my city council is made up of a construction worker and other individuals who are not the brightest professionals in the world and are currently under a federal audit. Would you want them making up the rules where they have no knowledge, skills, or abilities?
No, absolutely not, because they're not going to look at the bigger picture.
They don't even know what you're talking about.
Right.
So
That's where most of our government is, anyhow. But yeah, it's
and yeah, Brian, the Matrice 210 version 2 is a mess. It doesn't have its app is not running correctly. It
Pilot
doesn't
app.
take the pilot app. I don't even think it takes Go 4. It doesn't use
Well, you can
TP.
run your X4S with it on Go 4, but that's it. You can't do anything else.
Yeah, there's nothing but complaints on DJI Enterprise.
Yeah.
I think right now it's hats versus hair.
But the whole thing that they were missing and that everybody was trying to get by themselves was CORS, continuous operating reference station connection. So you could possibly cut out a surveyor. But it doesn't look like it's happening. Plus, you got 5G being implemented in states now.
Yeah, I can't wait to get 5G on my phone. That'll be nice.
There's a new Wi-Fi standard. It's called Wi-Fi 6. Instead of the 11 AC and AX, it's going to be called Wi-Fi 6. That'll be 5G.
Did you hear our opening discussion about what's happening with satellites?
Missed it, brother. They're launching satellites every day from the Space Coast.
Yeah, man. They're decommissioning a lot of the old ones that used to run some of the protocols that the 2015 drones and back used to run on.
And they used to only have like 12 satellites. They got 32 going up now.
Well, have you checked my Solo refuses to fly, man, kind of most of the time. It won't connect to more than 6 or 7 satellites now. And this has been a month, going on a 2-month span. So me and Steve dug into this project for 5 hours last night, and I took all 3 of my Solos are plagued by the same problem right now. It's not firmware; they're all running the stock firmware and stuff.
There's an app for that. It's ISS.
Well,
something. It'll show you the satellites and where they are and all that.
Yeah, the heck with all that. Let me show you something though. That's what UAV forecast was created for. So check this out.
You think it's because of the area you're at, Jim and Dan?
No, because look, all right. So visible with GLONASS set, right? With GLONASS
11
on is 11.9. Connectable.
What's your degrees though? Are you at 0 degrees or your inclination is 15%?
Dude, I have no idea. It doesn't give me all that.
Well, what they're trying to do is if you're out in the middle of nowhere, with no buildings around you, you can have a 0 degree inclination. If you're in the city, you better have 15% or better because the drone isn't going to see them because it's blocked by buildings.
Right. However, here's the deal. Check that out. I turned off GLONASS. That's just running standard US GPS now.
Getting 5.
My Solo's doing the same thing because none of it runs GLONASS.
Now you are basically, as the crow flies, about 150 miles from me. So let me look at the same map because he's in Florida. Directly across from me is Melbourne, Florida. Or
now,
directly across.
Ron, you only got 4, correct? When you turn GLONASS off?
4.9, yeah.
Okay.
Now look, I have Dan.
Okay.
Dan texted me on on something.
Go up. Let me see the bot. I can't see the. Okay, so you have 17. That's with GLONASS active. That means you're connectable to 15.8. So you see where it says visible sats?
Yeah.
Down at the bottom?
Yeah.
click on it like it was a button, and turn off GLONASS.
Nothing happens.
Well, click on it, and then you'll see a menu.
Right, you'll see a menu pop up when you click on visible satellites, and then turn off GLONASS and hit the back button.
You want me to hit the settings because I'm clicking on
No, no.
Where it says use GLONASS sats.
No, see where it says visible sats down here at the bottom?
Yeah.
Right there? Okay, so if you click on that, boom, it opens up a menu to you.
Not for me.
What are you running on? iOS?
Android.
How does it not? Okay, go ahead. I can't see. There you go. What?
Nothing.
That's UAV forecast you're using?
Yeah. See?
Oh, interesting. Oh, your app is broken.
Is that because you're on there? Let me get you off of there. Because you were messaging me. No, man, nothing is happening.
Yeah, that's weird. Restart the app and try it again.
However, I think there's an update, which I did not update. It says you are using an older version of the app, which will stop working at the end of 2019.
Oh,
Upgrade to version 2.10.
there you go.
Why should I upgrade? It ain't broken.
Well, kind of is. It doesn't really work. Anyways.
Yeah, but anyway, your point was with that, because I can go into settings and shut off.
Let's just turn off GLONASS then and let me know how you're getting.
Because these are the settings that we have in the UAV forecast app.
I find it hard to believe you can't click on the button.
Any of that clear? No. Doesn't look clear.
No, well, that's because everybody has the brightness turned up too much. You got to almost have your brightness turned all the way down to show it on the digital camera. There we go.
Is that any better?
No.
No. All right. Anyway, let me go into I got use 24-hour clock. Reset all settings to default. Show daylight theme. Threshold settings. Let me do that.
Okay, so TLRX4, New York City. He turned off GLONASS. He has 6.2. Do you see what I'm saying? They are Steve and me did a bunch of research. You went to gps.gov and pulled up all the stuff, and they found out through the SpaceX program that they were taking down old satellites and decommissioning them. A lot of those are running what Garmin, you remember Garmin Nuvi?
Yeah. You see, I've got my elevation mask set at 5%.
Right.
And a minimum of 10 satellites is what I set it at as needing.
Right. Okay, now WJ, click on visible sats and turn off GLONASS and tell me what you're getting.
Oh, I see. Include GLONASS. Let me shut that off. Okay.
Yes.
So now I'm shutting off the GLONASS and going back to conditions, and I have 10.
See what I'm saying? Really low numbers, man.
And you're locked.
You're lucky right there. Mine will barely fly good with 10 satellites. I used to get 12 to 15. Now I'm lucky if I can get 7 or 8.
Since I set it at 10, it's telling me that it's not good to fly.
But look at exactly because your signal lock's going to be horrid. But look at your satellite's lock, 8.8. It's showing as reg negative.
But I'll actually lock to the. That's your problem. You're saying yours isn't. My bird will lock to the GLONASS.
So that's what this whole discussion is about. I tried to open this up to explain to people what's happening with the old satellites and why it's getting harder to find satellites, because they're decommissioning all those old sats. That's why Garmin, you remember the Garmins you used to be able to buy, put them in your car? Most of those don't even work anymore because they got decommissioned. So the protocols that they were running on for their GPS, which is HDOP, is getting cut right out. They want you to run on VTOPS or any one of those newer GPS protocols. And unfortunately, we can't with our older bird. I can because, it's open source. Like you said, you can purchase the M8N U-Blocks GPS and install it on the Solo. But what do you do for all the Phantom 3 standard users? All the older
That's
drones,
right. That's right.
2015 and back,
They can't throw the M8 in there.
they can't. You're now stuck with a drone that you're only relying on as long as the satellites stay in the air that they can fly with.
Now, if you look it up, I'm sure you did. It says a fully operational constellation of global consisting of 24 satellites, while 18 are necessary for covering the territory of Russia. But so you got 24 satellites up there, which I know is wrong because they're launching new ones to replace the ones that are up there. In fact,
Right.
they'll be coming down. Question, is GLONASS better than GPS? For GPS, the U.S. is committed to maintaining at least 24 operational satellites 95% of the time. And then you go into positional accuracy, blah, blah, blah.
What is the GPS elevation mask?
That is how high, look at me, like this. Consider it like a V from your aircraft. If you're in buildings and all that, you're going to want it like this. But if you're in a wide open area, you can have it at 0. Because you're covered by buildings, it's not going to find the satellites. So if you go up at an elevation mask, you're telling it the angle of degrees to look for the satellites like this.
Right.
Instead of wide open like that. Because you're going to be covered to build in a city environment. Your buildings are going to cover your satellite signals. So you want to go up more like this, so they're looking up. But see, he's got 8 too.
Okay, I gotta keep going into this. Everybody's like, you can fix that with firmware. You cannot fix that with firmware if the GPS does not have the capability to connect to GLONASS. If it was something that was shut off from the manufacturer and then they realized later on they needed to activate it, then you could do that through firmware. But you can't just tell a GPS unit to start picking up other satellites through firmware. It doesn't work.
You're talking about satellites that are being changed out.
Right. They're decommissioning the old HDOP protocols, which is what a lot of the 2015 and older tech GPS drones operate on. So unless you have the ability to connect to GLONASS like the newer birds do, those drones are going to start phasing out quickly. And guess what? The government doesn't care. Neither does DJI. It gives them a reason for you to have to upgrade again.
Well, these are. I know there's 32 going up. These are the ones that are going up from the Space Coast. I'm sure they're going up from Texas too, or Johnson Space Center.
Building says, are you flying previously wrecked drones? I have, sure, but I have 2 of them that aren't wrecked, and they're plagued by the same problem that my crashed one has. Now,
did you know that as of August, there were 74 global positioning satellites up there? 31 were launched and are operational right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you looked all this up, right?
Well, I thought
it says right here, 30 have been retired and 2 were lost at launch.
Right.
The constellation requires a minimum of 24 operational.
Which is what Steve and me were going into last night. That's how we found a lot of them were being decommissioned because of the SpaceX program.
Well, they're changing them all out, yeah.
Right. So because they're changing them all out, that's where we're going. The whole topic here is that the old drones aren't going to have those ability to connect to those as they keep phasing them out.
And here's your fun. You're still using a 30-year-old system called ADS-B.
Mm-hmm.
To broadcast in the signals. Have they thought about 5G? And you're talking about the FAA, who's working off the Department of Transportation's budget. So who knows?
Yep. So I have all my solos in my house currently have the Revision B board, which is not GLONASS capable, but does have a much higher rated ability to connect to GPS satellites because it has a decent receiver built into it, right? Okay. And I got to tell you, man, those used to get 15 to 16, sometimes 17 satellites, and now I'm lucky if those Revision B boards that are in there can connect to anything over 7. And it just started happening 2 months ago. All my solos started having the same plagued problem. That's what kicked this off last night. That whole 5-hour stream we did last night, Kiwi, that's what put all this into effect to start searching and figuring out what happened today. I learned a lot about GPS systems I did not know until last night when I got off with you guys, I started doing tons of research, and then me and Steve came to some serious conclusions.
Well, I learned about it a long time ago because, like Brian will tell you, I've been fighting to use in Florida. It's a free system. It's called CORS, the Continuously Operating Reference System, and it works off of Rhinex and RTMC3. But in other states, it'll actually cost you money to use that system.
Right.
But Florida is a wide open state, man. They're beautiful, and they came out with their drone laws in 2014, and the state wants commercial drones in operation. But yeah, you're talking about a big problem there now. If you're changing out all the satellites, are they going to be broadcasting on the same? No. Well, they're going to have to broadcast on L1, L2, and what's the other one? L5? And if your drone is not set to pick up those signals.
Is this another conspiracy theory, Jim, that they don't want hobbyists and you guys to fly your drones, and they're basically setting it in place for Amazon with all their drones, with all this new technology and new GPS?
Well, I'm going on the 23rd is a seminar on remote ID. Now, all my aircraft have remote ID. They got unique ID. They got ADS-B in. Is that the system that's going to be put in place by our government, though? Or is all my information and software junk? Again, this goes back to Dan's question. You see what I'm saying, Brian?
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you. I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at what Bree said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, typical excuse. But
So you don't want a free $400 drone just to show your face?
She's shy.
Mike's a straightforward person. If he says he's gonna do something, he's gonna do it.
her picture of her profile looks like she's a dime piece and she's shy. Whatever.
Yeah.
Brian,
Domination.
Keep your eyes on the road.
Oh, I looked at that 2 days ago.
It's probably a guy.
Building says yes, it does. I got 18 3 days ago. I have to see that, man. None of mine are picking up very much at all. How long do I have to be on? Uh-oh, Mike. Somebody might call your bluff. Looks like you might be part. Let me see if I can find you a better deal.
Just long enough.
15 seconds.
Dan,
Yeah.
Jim hasn't got the blue Superman Smurf cape as well.
I can't give it out while I'm on StreamYards.
Okay.
I don't have that ability to access it.
I just thought I'd let you know. And
He don't like me, man. He don't like me. The guy never invites me. He says the hell with Jim.
What's Brian doing driving on the wrong side of the road? He's in the passenger seat.
Building a jumper, I'm not holding it against you. I'm just saying I have to see that now. If somebody's getting more than that, I need to see it. I'm hoping it wasn't just a fluke. You should go out there and test it again tomorrow and tell me what you pick up.
Brian, have you had any problems with getting 10 or better?
Yeah, I mean, I just looked at mine. I was getting with GLONASS turned off. I was getting 5.6, and then right now I've got it all turned on. I'm getting 17. So
see what I mean? That's crap, though, dude. That is just a joke. I sit outside now for like 10, 12 minutes waiting to get even 6 or 7 satellites to take off. Trash, dude. Straight trash.
Bree, just get your bum up here and get yourself a free drone.
Let's see, the problem is there's 5 different GPS systems around the world, and the U.S. has their own GPS system.
I talked about all of them. We went over the Galileo and the Chinese Beidou, and that's what I said. I've already covered most of that. I thought there was 4 though. You said there's 5. I thought there was only 4.
No, India just came out with one.
Oh well, I guess that makes sense. Not updated information then.
Brian's driving with his knees.
I sold it. That's right, man. You did say you were selling your Solo. That's too bad.
I think you're right, though, Dan. I think it's at a point the technology out there as far as GPS system is advancing. Unless you have a phone, you're going to have, even though maybe our phones are telling us one thing, but
Your phones are junk. Yeah, they're within.
I mean, it's funny. My phone's like it's a year and a half old. But are the newer drones going to give us a more accurate number as far as the GPS satellite being acquired?
Well, here's what it is. You see that SpaceX and their Falcon 9 rockets is putting up 32 GPS-3 satellites that will replace the older ones that we now have in orbit. Now, Lockheed Martin is building the satellites, but they've got to transmit on the same spectrum, or else you'd have to have General Aviation changing out all their equipment. Of course, this system was developed by the military anyway, and the Air Force controls the 31 satellites.
Hey, 28 people. Don't forget to smash the like button. Don't let the haters win tonight.
Now, it says the GPS-3 satellites have a stronger military signal that's harder to jam. See, that's all they're worried about. They ain't worried about us.
You won't have to worry about, right. You won't have to worry about the new drones having an issue. No. I got 8 to 9 with it sitting in the house yesterday, discharging a battery. See, and I used to get that too, but I don't now.
Oh, you finally did get satellites in the house?
Dude, it took, and the most I could acquire was 6, and that's with the Revision B board inside the house on 2 different drones. There's an issue, man.
Blame it on Lockheed Martin.
Where did that comment go? He gave out his email address. I need to find it. I don't know where it went. Building. It
says your basic GPS receivers are accurate to within 10 to 33 feet. So that's how far off your basic phone will be.
WJ, where did you go?
I've got it here, Dan. I'll send it. I'll put it on private.
What did it do? Oh, did he delete his comment?
Hey, Jim.
Yeah, buddy.
Did you have that meeting today?
It's in private chat, Dan, if you want it.
All right.
Meeting with that guy about the one job.
Bree. He's offering to buy you a drone if you just show yourself on camera.
Why?
I'm so confused by how that's just 2 seconds, man. We just got to see. That's all he wants to know. Would you guys turn that down? I would go shirtless if somebody said they were going to buy me a drone.
Damn, I'll
Can I
take
get
my
a
pants
$400
down.
drone for free?
See what I'm saying? All right, start strip. Take off your clothes, gentlemen. The sexiest one gets a drone.
Oh,
Shake
ain't
it,
gonna
boys.
be me.
America. Got my America shirt on.
Hey, Ron.
Yo.
I put up Skype so you can text me there.
Kiwi's going all in.
Oh, hell yeah. He went hard.
Oh my God, Kiwi did go hard, man.
Start some music.
Kiwi is a savage.
If I wasn't doing 80 miles an hour down 95, I would definitely take my shirt off, and then that would get Bree up in here if she's single, but she's probably got a girlfriend.
Oh my God, you are so. Hey, Kiwi, while your shirt's off, you got to do the truffle shuffle, man.
What the fuck's a truffle shuffle?
Okay, all right. The
Must be
truffle
an
shuffle.
American thing, is it?
No.
It's American thing?
Have you seen the Goonies?
No. What the hell's the Goonies?
Chunk, he wants to come into the fence of his friend's house, and his friend says, "I'm not opening the gate, so you do it." And he goes, "Oh, come on!" He says, "Come on, fatty, give it to me." And he goes, and then he pulls up his. He put what? Of course, I can talk about my own species, man. I'm fat.
I've got moves.
Dan, post the link for Bree so she can tap on that link in the chat and then go to StreamYard and then come in.
All right, I will do that. Mike
get
might have resended the offer by now, though, because he said 5 minutes ago. That was 25 minutes ago.
Yeah,
There's the link,
use
Bree.
your phone. I use my phone all the time.
Get in here. All right.
Brian, you better pull over to the side of the road.
No, I actually need to keep going. That way I can get to where I have some service.
Oh, okay, all right.
If I pull over, I'm in the middle of nowhere on 95. So
It's spring. It's fucking cold.
Man, Kiwi.
So I guess she needs some instructions, Dan.
All right. First, we got to give Kiwi the proper instructions to the truffle shuffle. First, you got to do the truffle shuffle. Come on, man.
Look how young they were.
Do it.
Mate, you're too
Come
slow.
on.
You
Do
haven't got to do it. What the hell
Here
is
we
this?
go.
Man boobs. I got them, baby.
Maneuver.
Oh, I've got a huge, great big fucking hernia on my gut. You don't want to see that.
You want man boobs? I got them.
Truffle shuffle.
What's the
No,
truffle
you only
shuffle?
need
What are
your
we doing?
phone, Bree.
Oh, we got to do that? Oh, your man boobs are better than mine.
Fucking moves. They're moves, mate. They're moves. They're not man boobs.
I am jealous, dude. Your man boobs are better than mine.
Oh,
Oh,
my
shit.
God.
Building says, please stop.
Oh,
How come my
God.
shit's so skinny now? I'm all little. What happened?
That is amazing.
Yeah, is your phone turned straight up?
No, man, it was good. I had a full camera, and then now it's like a little camera. I'm gonna have to hang up and call back so that way I can catch a new cell phone tower.
Well,
You gonna let
maybe-
me back in, Dan?
Maybe Brian, try
yeah,
turning it, spinning it one time. Yeah, there you go. That's better.
Okay. But if I go back to the way it's been since I've been on the show, it puts me back to little.
Yeah.
That's
If you
what she
turn it on
said.
its side. Oh, but then you
What-
can't read the chat, right?
What sort of phone is Bree using? A bloody old Razor or something?
Oh, my
Dude,
God.
I've got an LG Stylo 2 from Cricket. I mean, you can't get a cheaper phone than this piece of junk.
Dude, I loved my LG Stylo 2. That's why I'm rocking the LG Stylo 4 now, bro. Upgrade. It's totally worth it, dude.
The Stylo 4?
Yeah. It's got a Snapdragon, Qualcomm processor, all the good stuff.
I've got a stylo.
You need to move your camera back up. I don't want to look at your boobs anymore.
I want to show you what my granddaughter did. There's, these apps that make.
No, yeah.
There's those apps. Facebook has them, right? I mean,
Instagram.
Apple has it. Yeah, Instagram, Apple, FaceTime, whatever the heck it is. I don't know what that is. I don't play with that stuff.
Messenger has them as well.
There is my official call. Oh, there's the batteries. I had to make a video for DJI today, Dan, to show them how the batteries rock and roll on the table. They can just sit there and spin. Oh, you can't see them jiggling.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes,
When's your
I can.
birthday? When's your birthday, Jim?
July
Well-
30th.
Okay, I'm gonna buy you a better camera.
Are you kidding? This is a Brio.
It doesn't look high res though.
It's a 4K Brio because this damn StreamYard is at 720.
Well, I get that. That's why you'll actually do better if you drop it down to 720 instead of trying to run it at higher res.
Plus, the lights are right up above me. So I always look like I'm white as a ghost. You can't get whiter than me.
Who still uses an iPhone 6? Like, is it what really? Come on. Come on now.
Is that old? I don't know.
Come on now. Dude,
They're up to
I
they
the
use
got like
alley.
an
iPad
iPhone
mini
11
4.
now. iPhone 6 was dead in like 2014.
I thought it was before that. But
Maybe 13. But come on now.
You know,
There's not even an iPhone 6 on the planet that doesn't have a broken screen. Let's go.
He said, let's go.
Update your lifestyle, you know?
All right. So, what do you think of this, Jim? You'll appreciate this.
Yeah, the M8. Yeah.
Yes. Well, this is their new upgrade M8.
Yeah, because it's got an upgraded price too there. I see $50.
However, it used to be $79.99. The second version of it is this one for $49.99. They've down the price and they've made the tech better. Look at all the craziness it connects to now. Now you can even plug it into USB. Partition the satellite usage as needed. It's interesting.
You know, well, you don't need that stuff, but MLID has some great technology for GPS and all that, but forget about it. It's nothing you need.
Yeah.
So can you upgrade your Solo with all this new GPS tech, Dan?
Can I do what?
Upgrade your GPS.
I already bought this. This is on its way to my house.
Oh, okay, right.
This
I
is
thought you
going-
said you couldn't
couldn't what?
upgrade yours.
Yeah. Why do you say I couldn't?
I thought you said you could.
Oh, at the time, because I didn't have the money. Steve donated $50 today so I could buy it.
Oh,
Steve heard that, well, we had a long discussion about GPS, and then I told him that I found the one I was looking for, and he asked for a link for it, and then all of a sudden he PayPal'd me $50. I was like, wow, you didn't have to do that, man.
Oh,
So,
just
thanks to Steve, we got one coming. We're going to test it and see if it's all it claims to be.
So what do I get for taking my clothes off?
you get a shot of Brie, but I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
Ghost Mafia in the house. Oh, who else we got down here? Wait a minute.
Is there really a Brie?
Bree Smith. That is Bree Smith. Wow.
All right. So what was all the hiding about? You were hiding
Yeah,
like
what
you
are you
were
hiding
ugly or something.
That was Mike. Mike was like, I got to talk to Bree. Uh-oh, Mike.
There you go. You got to buy her a drone.
There you go.
Yep, you're screwed now.
Hey
You
guys,
are.
I am real.
Yeah, Bree, I apologise. It's just that you're on Mitch's show and I was there and you're asking questions and you come over to here and you ask the same questions.
Because
Yeah,
we're
why did you kick
smarter.
me out?
Because we're smarter.
because we
Smarter
thought,
than what?
The
Oh.
average bear.
yeah,
Ah,
Apparently not.
boo
She
boo.
proved you wrong.
No, not me.
okay.
She
Now where's
proved-
my drone?
Mr. Mike. She's asking for her toy.
Yep. A Bebop too. There you go. You didn't have to spend any money at all, Bree. Look
See?
at that.
Is Mike gonna cough up?
He's going to have
that.
Come on, Mike.
Mike's an honest dude. He's in chat.
Yeah.
Let's see what he has to say here.
Oh, I know he's an honest dude. But does he have 400 to drop?
Well, I'll drop out if Mike wants to drop in.
So, Bree, how old is the iPhone 6? Do you know? I have no idea. I use Android.
And has it got a broken screen?
Yeah, I love that comment, Brian. That was on.
Yeah.
I think it's
I
just
know.
it's a couple years old. I mean, I'm not exactly sure.
My
I
phone is
hope,
2
I hope
years
that
old.
she understands. I don't mean to cut nobody off, but I hope she understands that we've been trolled by many, many people over the last several weeks over the little feud that we're having in the drone world right now. So we've been pretty cautious about anybody that we don't know or that, you know, that has just random questions and comes in and out of different shows because we all know each other. Everybody knows everybody in the drone community.
Bree,
And,
take a screenshot.
You know, that's why we were kind of being that way. So I wasn't trying to be abrasive to you at all. Welcome to the drone community. It's nice to have you.
That's okay. I was just trying to get, some advice on how to, when to buy my first drone and what,
Sure.
what to look for and stuff. So
That's awesome. That's
We
awesome.
just have
So,
fun with everybody, man. Don't take
Yeah,
it personal.
it's just unfortunate that you've
no
dropped
hard
it
feelings.
asking questions at the
And
wrong.
what I meant, Bree, is that Mitch is into FPV drones. He builds his
Okay.
own FPV drones.
Did you get
What
his
is that
email,
exactly?
Bree? Real fast. I just want to resolve this so I can drop the comment. Were you able to take a screenshot?
Mike's big drone
Yeah.
giveaway at AOL.com. God,
Yeah.
I didn't even know AOL still ran.
Oh, he's got more than just a tiny drone. He's got some big ones too that he may just part with for you. He's got some 4K drones that he was doing a giveaway, but nobody got interested. So you may just end up with a really nice 4K drone. We'll see.
I think something she should know too is, like where we look at analytics on this side of YouTube, we have like 1.9% female based viewers in the United States, and then the other 98% or 97.5% are males, and then there's some unspecifieds. So when a female comes around into the drone community, it's typically it's a scam or it's a troll. That's where that comes from. So, like I said, welcome to the drone community, and it's good to see that women want to actually come in and hang out with us, nerdy drone guys all the time. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
So you should watch Zoe FPV. If you're thinking about getting into drones, Zoe FPV is probably one of the best female pilots I've ever seen. She can compete with most men, I think, on any level. She won the first U.S. drone race that was hosted here, and she flies Acro 3D, which most guys couldn't even dream of doing. So
no, I can't.
That's awesome.
I can't do it.
So shout outs to Zoe. She's part of
Dan,
the
don't you think with her being her first drone that she should try something that's a GPS platform like the
Bebop 2 is GPS?
yeah.
Well, yeah, like that, or maybe like a Mavic Air or Mavic Spark or something like that to be able to be easy.
I already bought the Spark now.
Okay.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
So the Bebop 2 is actually extremely capable. It has a 25-minute flight time. It allows a couple miles of range. It also does mission planning, waypoint setting missions, all the good stuff. It does shoot in 1080. You don't have to worry about a gimbal because it's all Linux-based stabilization software that it operates on. And it has a sport mode capability of 27 miles per hour. It's a very fun, very easy to fly, awesome platform. Optical flow, sonar pulse sensor built into it, all the good stuff. And if you happen to get your finger in the way of one of the props, it has smart motor sync.
I'm just using it for vlogging.
Oh, well, then you're going to have a blast.
Bree, if you want, Matt Northwest Aerial Photography, he's Australian, he's got a Spark, and he's really, really good and very knowledgeable as well. So it's another one to jump on board with.
What kind of vlogs are you going to be doing?
What's your chat genre? Drones.
Look at my
makeup.
cabinet.
Lampshade.
I love lamp.
Just of me walking around my suburbs.
That's cool. There's a guy in Canada who does that too. He does a walk and talk. And he'll talk about news.
All right,
of the
I gotta
day.
get off here, guys.
Uh-oh.
So how do I get my free drone?
At Bree Smith, send me an email to Mike's Big Drone Reviews at AOL.com. He posted it again. That's why I told you to take a screenshot with your.
It's in the chat.
It's in the chat.
Okay.
He's
Did
communicating.
you get the screenshot?
With, not me, you. Take your phone.
Or write down that email address.
Or just, you can just write it. I'm just saying if you take a screenshot when I post it up here like this, if you take your phone and do a screenshot, then you have it locked in as a picture.
Okay.
You'll leave it up. You can get off of StreamYards and then use your camera and take the picture.
Gotcha.
So I think it's what your volume key down and your power button holding down at the same time takes a screenshot. I don't know what it is.
Okay, I got it.
So, and then just write that down and give him a contact. He may have something else that's way better than what you originally had planned on.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, we're not all bad in this community.
No.
Shout out to Mike for being awesome.
Yeah, man.
Well, thanks again, guys. I hope to talk to you guys soon.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Thanks a lot for coming on.
Sure, no problem. Have a good night.
To the room.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Well, there you go.
Steve Carpenter joined us. Yeah, Rodney's on his way to Texas, Austin, Texas. Building JMPR 67. He says he's learning a lot. Good. Glad to hear it. Got any questions? Anybody got any questions? Just type
Yeah,
in.
man, that's what we're here for. Right? That's what we're here for. That's why we do these open streams.
So Dan,
And we all learned something.
you send Steve to Texas with that shirt?
How's that again?
Are you going to send Steve to Texas with that shirt?
No, I told Steve to take a permanent marker and just etch in the sloppiest handwriting possible drone worship was here, and then put that crappy shirt on, and then I'm going to send him a picture of my face that he can cut out and put little eyeballs in, and then just walk around, spin up with my face in front of his, just trolling everybody.
They were all talking about not streaming from there like it was some big secret event. Like it's a bunch of guys getting together, man. Have a good time.
I was part of that conversation last year with Kelly and Ken Herron, and they all three of us was standing at the coffee machine, and we were talking about that. And the exact words out of Kelly's mouth was, "I don't want to stream from Spin Up because that will reduce the amount of people that show up here if they can sit home and just watch it on their phones."
Hey, Mike, I did want to say, but I got cut off earlier. That FPV bundle says drone not included.
What?
The refurbished package is so it says $99, your pick. It says Parrot Bebop 2 FPV camera drone, which is interesting. They put that in there, but if you read the important part of it, it says important drone and charger not included.
Well, what the heck are you buying?
Yeah.
So it says refurbished is $386
So
A battery
Brian,
charger.
with money back guarantee.
I mean, literally, they'd have to. What is this? Thank you for this update. Was wondering why it took so long to get GPS locked last
Mike,
week.
I tried to say it earlier. Look, man.
What does that come with, Dan? If it
Yeah, that's
doesn't
what I'm
come
going
with
to
the
try to
drone?
show them. I'm going to show them how they tried to pull a slick one on you. I didn't
Go
notice
full
it.
screen.
Yeah, I didn't notice it until afterwards, though. That was the problem. And then when I tried to say it, somebody got me off topic.
Oh,
Look,
was that me?
See? FPV package, right? It says
Yeah.
FPV, Parrot Bebop 2 FPV camera drone. Okay, refurbished, $99, right? And then if you scroll down here,
It
manufacturer.
says camera drone.
Look, exactly. It says manufacturer's refurbished camera drone. Check this out. Important. Drone and charger not included. Our aim is to make buying refurbished as satisfying as buying new in order to provide the best service possible. And if you scroll down, even the about this product information, the Parrot Bebop 2 drone FPV bundle features an integrated 14 megapixel camera. Whoops. But why does it say important drone and charger?
No. He's got to send you the drone.
Right.
He's got it in the heading of the listing, and he's got it in the listing itself. He owes you a drone.
Right. So yeah, I would get with eBay and say now drones are owed to people.
Yeah.
It is hosted through TechRabbit. So TechRabbit is the one hosting this post. So TechRabbit owes you a drone. See, sold by TechRabbit, right there.
Yeah, PD Tech is saying I'd say the description is wrong. Okay, but then down in the verbiage that Dan just showed, it also talks about the drone being a 14 megapixel camera drone and all that. So they went on further, not talking about the VR headset or whatever else was in there,
Right. It
but
legitimately.
talking about the drone.
Yeah, no, the thing says product identifier, get brand, let's see here, and product keys, all that wonderful stuff. But it just says important. Drone and charger not included, which doesn't make sense. Because everything about this says
Drone.
Like,
Yeah, right underneath that, it says see details. Click on that. What the hell does that say?
this is $99. Buy it now. Offered by TechRabbit. Right, free standard shipping. Blah 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 blah. But it looks like it's just the goggles now and the controller. Once you click on it, it says Parrot Bebop 2 FPV bundle, cockpit goggles plus Sky controller 2. So when you
That's
actually click on the link, it alters the entire post.
That's an expensive cardboard box that's empty.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and it says hosted by TechRabbit.
So what are you getting for the $100?
That's my point. It's false advertisement. That's stupid. I've never seen TechRabbit do that before.
That is bad. That's almost like Wish.
Well, TechRabbit is the largest company that refurbishes Parrot products.
Is
But
that right?
yeah, oh yeah, TechRabbit does not just them; they do unique as well. TechRabbit's a big, and so does Newegg. Newegg does a lot of unique stuff as well.
Yeah, I like Newegg.
Yeah, they make good on all their purchases. Newegg, TechRabbit, I've never had an issue with. However, there were a couple people when we did the original Parrot Bebop 2 video or thing like 7 months ago when they were releasing a whole bunch of FPV packages for $200. No, it was $186 for the entire package. And some people said that theirs came with bent props and bent motor pods and stuff like that, but apparently they resolved it pretty quickly. See, that's what Rusty Grill said, TechRabbit. That's where I bought a defective refurbished Bebop 2 that was honest and refunded my money. But you see what I'm saying? They normally make good on it as well if there is an issue. But it leads me to believe that they're not doing too much refurbishing. You know what I mean? Like if these things are coming with bent motors and motor pods, and, you know, I have to assume they didn't look them over very well.
It could be human error because some human typed that into the keyboard, and maybe they employed a Chinese advertiser from Wish to do
What
it.
kind of controller would be best for the Bebop original? I was thinking about buying a fly pad with a Wi-Fi extender. It says Timeless Truth.
Well, I've flown all three, and to date, I love my Wi-Fi repeater. The problem is they don't produce the Z160 Wi-Fi repeater anymore, and it's very hard to get your hands on one. Now, I kept mine. I have mine. I'm not going to get rid of it because it works with all Wi-Fi based drones.
Right.
So if I wanted to amplify the signal on another drone I had, I could do that with this. You know what I'm saying? So if I get rid of it, my options at that point are very limited to what I can do. So I can sit here all day and tell you that Wi-Fi repeaters are great, but the only one I've ever come across that has the punch-out ability of the Z160 is the Z160.
Where did what go, honey? Oh, they're on the
And
couch.
All right, Bree says she sent an email.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
I'm sorry again, Bree, for
Or
kicking
maybe
you.
chop it up for a chicken salad.
Make that two, Jim.
Oops.
2 chicken salads, Jim, because I'm hungry. It's lunchtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
so you're getting a refurbished pair of goggles? Is that what?
yeah,
that
yeah,
$100 equates to?
and a Sky controller too is what they're trying to sell it as now. So once you click on it, you think you're getting a camera and drone and all that stuff.
Because he says you're getting a drone.
Right. The problem is once you click on the link, it takes you to a totally different link.
So it's clickbait, really, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, tech-based clickbait.
Hey,
TechRabbit's clickbait.
were we just talking about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming up on Christmas, so they're going to be trying to do that to everyone. And then when you get it, you go, oh, what the hell? I thought I was getting a Bebop too. And then they go, oh, no, did you not read the description? Yeah, it's just the goggles and the transmitter. What the hell am I going to do with goggles and a transmitter? Well, you got to buy the drone too. Hello. No. That's not how this works. No. Sorry.
Not good.
Do. Well, guys, I think we've pretty much covered most of the topics. Yeah, we're not really getting too many questions. I think people learned some stuff. I don't want to be on all night. I'd like to have a non-5-hour night ahead of me.
Let us not go back to what you're doing at the end of that.
At the end of the other stream, out of complete boredom. Yeah.
Wi-Fi works well. And also, don't forget those cheap parabolics work for your antennas.
So, Ron, anything you want to say?
No. No.
You finished for the week, Ron?
Yeah. The whole thing when you started with this GPS system, it's pure speculation, but you wonder if it's just another ploy of, drones have had nothing but a bad rep for the past 2 years. And is it another thing to, what's the word I want to look for?
Try and squeeze us out.
Exactly. Yeah. I think the hobby, the industry itself, I mean, you look at it a year ago, my God, YouTube was exploding. Every 2 weeks, there's a new drone out and everything. And now over the past year, it's been pretty damn quiet. I think a lot of YouTubers are, and Dan, you talk about clickbait. I think a lot of YouTubers right now are looking for like, oh my God, what kind of subject
Can I talk about?
can I talk about to
Right.
keep my YouTube channel up to, make my money. I hope, again, I'm just speculating, but I hope that's not where it's going. The media has not helped.
Yeah.
As far as there's more bad out there than there is good, which I think hurts us all.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to give kudos to someone like Ken Herron. When you have somebody like Jeff Sills, on the news, where he actually does talk a lot about what good things drones are doing out there.
Yeah.
Again, he's just one guy. He's one channel.
I invited Jeff on here tonight, but he said he was busy with Ken's channel, so
Yeah,
he couldn't make it tonight.
But I think that's certainness, though, Dan. I think there's just, yesterday I went out and I flew for a couple of hours yesterday, and for the first time in the city, my small little city, Rapid City, South Dakota, was the first time I kind of flew out there, and nobody really bothered me. I didn't have one person coming up and complaining. There's a lot of people that come down to that community area and they hike and they go for their afternoon walks and stuff, but not one person for the first time in a long time come up and said, "Hey, what are you doing? You're invading my privacy. You're bothering me. You're dangerous, whatever." Mm-hmm. First time in a long time.
Yeah.
So, that's the other thing too. That's the other thing too, Ron. Like, you show up at the same place doing the same thing often enough, and a lot of people get to see and know who you are. Whereas me is completely different because there is nobody out here.
Right.
You might have the farmer going around his sheep and that, but he didn't give a shit. He can't even hear the drone going across him. Doesn't even bother the bloody alpaca. I've had my drone, my Mavic, like that far away from the alpaca's face, and it didn't even bother it. Noisy bloody Mavic Air.
Yeah.
Don't they drive dogs crazy though?
Nah. We've got 2 dogs here and they don't give a shit anymore, They thought, what the hell is that? They looked up. Oh, Dad's operating that. And they don't bother. So,
well, like I said, I really don't care why they're doing it, I guess, as much as how much it's affecting the older platforms.
It's
you know what I'm saying? My job is to warn the people that have the older platforms as to what I'm noticing and what's going on. I mean, you say our cell phone GPS isn't very good. I think most devices now, actually, they're fairly decent. And even a mid-range device has a fairly decent high output GPS inside of them. It seems weird that my phone is registering almost identical to what my solos are. You know what I'm saying? So I have to assume there's an issue going on here with the old protocols that they're running on. Like I said, after some research, we found out they are decommissioning a lot of the older platforms, but not platforms, but satellites. And that being the case, a lot of these older drones run HDOP. And if they're taking those out of circulation and they're not using them anymore, or they're limiting their use, then you're going to start running out of sats pretty fast. It's going to make your flight experience way different. You may show up at a location and not be able to connect to enough satellites to even fly. You know what I mean? I got to sit outside for 10 minutes, sometimes 15 now to get enough satellites to take off. That's crazy.
maybe there's a marketing strategy, Dan, with that, where they, I mean, some of these drones, if you just take care of them, they'll run forever.
Well, they'll run forever until the tech outruns them.
Right, but exactly, so are they kind of phasing out, like I said, like the GPS systems, so you will go and buy the newest one out in the market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that what they're doing? I don't know.
You got to realize the tech is going so fast, and they're holding back a lot of tech that's already out there, and they're just sort of dripping it in as and when.
Sure.
It's the same as, what was it, the photocopiers, the big photocopier wars back in the day.
Yeah.
They already had the tech there, and then they were talking to each other, we're going to release this one, and then they do, and then vice versa, and they finally get up to speed. But yeah, I don't know.
And Keith, just what you were saying too, when you look at a company like DJI, I mean, they've got drones out there that are for the consumer guy like me, that just go out and do photo and video, and they got stuff out there what Jim does, and what Jim and Brian both do, and they really, where can they go from this point? And I think that's part of the reason why they're not producing anything right now. What else is out there that they can produce?
We talked about it. They got to come up with the camera standards. You can't have a DJI X7 be only 24 megapixels and cost you $8,000.
Yeah.
With the lens kit and all that, that's just not. You're better off buying a heavyweight drone that's cheaper, like the M600, and slapping your own DSLR on it.
Yeah. And they talked about, going above 4K. And we had this discussion on, Dan, that one night, what can the human eye see?
Right.
And what can your internet providers, they're not up to 4K. I don't know.
Sorry. Building jumper. The only thing that's going to affect is the KP index. That's the issue. I assume most of you guys know what the KP index is. Yes.
The only time you got to worry about that is if it's 5 or above.
Right. So that's really when the KP index comes into place, jumper. Other than that, it's not really going to interfere with it. I'm not saying that it doesn't have to do based on location, but for someone who used to get 15 to 17 out here, to only get 4 and 5 now randomly out of the blue for the last 2 months doesn't seem accurate. Something else is going on there, right?
When did you start noticing that, Dan?
2 months ago.
Really? Okay.
They started slowly dropping off over time. Now I've replaced all the GPS boards. Same thing.
Is it only just around Florida where you guys are, where the Space Center and all that is?
Well, no. Because
we just showed you that
just
mine
showed
is different than his.
Right. Ron, what did you get? But they're all low numbers. If you don't have GLONASS on, they're tiny low numbers. What are you getting again?
I think without GLONASS, I was getting 4 point something.
I'm in Virginia, and I was getting 5.6 whenever I showed you that screen of mine.
Okay. Now
New Zealand turned off.
I've got GLONASS off, and I'm getting 10.5.
So that's about average, right? The problem is that's still not about average. That's average now, right?
All right, here's a question too, and again, I don't know much about this app, but when you click on the visible sats, and there is a selection there about minimum GPS sats.
Yeah, I have mine set to 20 and 8, lowest being 8.
I set mine up to 20, which I do now.
Right. So if it could pick up 20, it would show you all 20.
Right. If I with the whatchamacallit off, I get 10.5, and with it on, I'm getting 18.1.
Right. Which is 8.5. That's with non-GLONASS active. See what I'm saying? 8.5 sets. That's barely enough to take off with my drone. If I go outside, that's the most I get, 7 or 8. That's it. That's crap, dude.
What are you guys comfortable taking off with?
I don't like to take out with under 10 or 12.
Yeah, 10.
All right.
I mean, if you lose even a couple, like from flying fast, you know what I'm saying? The more you have locked, the better it's going to be. At some point, it'll become redundant. You know what I'm saying? Like you won't need all the extra the signal locks, but it's nice to have them if you can get them. But I think for comfortability, I would say 12 to 14 is a comfortable number for me. Okay.
Right.
Anything under that, if I'm flying 30, 40 miles an hour with my drone, it is a much higher opportunity for it to disconnect from a couple satellites while flying at that speed. And if that happens, yeah, it's going to drift until it picks up GPS again. But if I'm on the end of a battery and it does that and it doesn't come back and it loses battery power before it reconnects, I'm screwed, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like these are things you have to take into consideration. So my comfort factor is, 12 or more.
That's a good point. Yeah.
There you go. KP solar flares. Yes, that's normally what I would consider space storms, but yeah. It has a lot to do with the magnetic interference with the Earth and all that fun jazz. That's KP index. It's really good to know about KP index, though, if you're flying drones. Here in Florida, you said 5. I was told 4. You never want to fly over 4.
I haven't had any problems until it gets to like 5.
You're also running a lot newer drones than I am, though, yes? I'm running
the Phantom 4 series is pretty old now, isn't it? 2015?
Not really. 2 years.
It's 2+ years, yeah.
Hey, I got some cool science for you guys that I learned flying drones. So a lot of construction sites that get inspected by drones, when they originally go in there, they chop all the trees down and they make these big, humongous burn piles, and they burn the trees in like 15 different burn piles over 20 acres. And then they mess around a little bit with the dirt. They blade a little bit of the topsoil off, and they start construction. So if you go there to inspect that area and those burn piles reached over 600 degrees, they actually ionize the dirt and they restructure the dirt to where it changes the magnetic interference in that 10 or 15 acre parcel with that many burn piles, and you will have severe magnetic interference with your drone on a construction site that was cleared and burned. Forest fires are the same way.
Interesting. Never knew that.
Thank you for posting all that, Jim. I really didn't feel like going through all the whole discussion of it. Hey, Timeless Truce, that's what I was trying to tell you guys. The Z160 Wi-Fi repeater is not offered anymore for dongle. The problem is that was the most powerful Wi-Fi dongle repeater I have ever come across in my time flying drones.
There's no replacement?
No, there's no company reproducing or rebranding that product. So the issue is it had SMA connectors on it, so you could essentially screw high gain patch antennas to it. And when I would do that, when I would take the alpha antennas off the Solo and screw them on there, I could take my power bank, slide the dongle in, wait for it to connect, set it on the roof of my car in the direction I'm flying, get in my car, sit in the air conditioning, and just fly in the AC. Never have to worry about losing signal. So if let's say it's really cold outside, but you want to get a flight in, but you don't want to stand outside, I consider it a Wi-Fi base station. It's really nice because you can just set it on the top of your car, get in your car, sit in the heat, and fly, and never have to worry about signal loss.
Brian, whatever happened to that? DJI had something similar where you could suction cup an antenna to your windshield and sit inside the car, and it connected to your remote. That was years ago, and it never took off.
Yeah.
Similar to their Track-Tenna idea, which is a tracking system. Which
they got a new one out.
Anyway.
It's called a Command 10. I don't know if you know about that or not.
No, I don't.
Yeah. See, there's a lot of tech out there that people don't know about that DJI has, but and everybody raves about just the drone. But there's a new unit that DJI just released about 6 months ago. It's called a Command 10, and it's got Ethernet and wireless LAN, and it's got the local, the wide, and an Ethernet cable. You Wi-Fi your phone to it or a hotspot, mobile hotspot, and then it has a little antenna that sticks up on the side that's 5.8 and 2.4, and
Right.
it actually you can use that almost like your RTK system that you have. It works on that same type of platform to where you can get, you still get your 2-3 miles of range, but it's crystal clear. Like he said, you can get in your car. It doesn't affect your radio transmission. You just plug it into the USB part of your back of your Ascendants.
Right.
A lot of the first responders have it because a lot of those guys, they have a visual observer and they fly from inside of those command trailers.
Yeah.
So they're actually sitting at a 42-inch screen with a Ascendance controller in an office chair inside of a command trailer flying. Then outside they have a VO with either night vision or binoculars on like a platform. I've seen those on those trailers down in South Carolina doing that.
Like Fly Motion does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so they're using that Command 10.
I've seen a lot of them that plug in from the outside of the van into the inside screens, similar to like cable, like an SDI plug-in type thing.
Yeah.
I know that's not what you're talking about, but
So
Well, I mean, have you ever seen like the Wind 4 or the Wind 8?
with the car battery, with the motorcycle battery, yeah, the Wind 4 I've seen.
Yeah, so they work off that same platform.
that setup I just showed you that took 2 seconds to set up and install, that's all I have to do is just plug that in, set it on the roof of my car, aim the alpha antennas in the path that I want to fly or travel. I get 3 miles of range, no problem. I can go and just go and go and go with the Bebop 2. And it will just, I've blown my Sky Controller 1 out of the water now. My Sky Controller 2 stopped at 2.3 miles. This one has gone 3 miles. And the only reason I had to come back was because of battery life, 6 mile round trip. So it potentially could just keep going. I don't know how far you could push that rig. If I had to take a guess, probably somewhere around an 8 mile round trip, probably 4 out, 4 back before it would start having fall off. That's pretty impressive for a Wi-Fi dongle. So, like I said, I've had this Wi-Fi repeater now for what, 2 years, and I can connect it to any one of my phones, and it just goes, man. I've yet to try it on the Solo, but I think I might at some point.
I got a question. Could I use that on my Wi-Fi router so I've got Wi-Fi over to my man cave?
Yes, you could. However, no, you can't because it's not offered anymore.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said if you can track down a Z160 Wi-Fi repeater somewhere on this planet. Here's the problem. I made a video for the Parrot Bebop 2 about long-range extension using a base station, and I showed people this Wi-Fi repeater.
Right.
And not more than 2 weeks later, every single one of these was gone.
Sure.
Absolutely gone. They just got bought up by everybody that had a Parrot product, man. They just disappeared off the market. So now if you do find one, it's like almost $100 or more. You may as well just buy a Sky Controller.
No, nothing here in New Zealand.
So I'd love to say they're still available. Keep searching. Maybe you'll find one somewhere someday. Maybe it'll get rebranded by another company. The idea will get sold. And the problem is, guys, this is a no brand. It just says WPS on it. I didn't find out what it was until after looking in the it said the model number is Z160, and then I tried to find out who manufactured it so I could reach out to them and say, hey, if you start making these again, you'll sell a boatload of them. There are a ton of people now that realize they can use them on their drones, So the furthest I ever made it out with the 3 dBi stock antennas that come on it, these little ones, was 1.2 miles. So even the stock antennas still get you some serious range with omnidirectional setup.
I'm surprised that you haven't tried to make that unit up to your Solo.
That's what I just said. I thought about doing it one of these days, but I mean, it doesn't really matter because my Solo already go 3 miles with the alpha antennas on it. I've performed a 6 mile round trip already with the Solo, so there's really no point. battery life once again comes into being a big part of that. By the time you get out there, you're like, oh my god, I got to turn around because the battery's halfway depleted. You know, so that Paul Boone, that is 2.4 gigahertz. It is not a dual band router. I've been trying to find a dual band one that repeater that'll work on 5G. But apparently they don't make them in dongle format. They make ones that you can plug into a power inverter set on the dashboard of your car. They have those in dual band. And that's honestly, guys, that's not a bad route to take. If you still wanted to do that, you could do that. You've seen the ones where you plug into your wall. Just get a power inverter, 150 watt power inverter, plug it into your car, plug it in and run it right up to your dashboard, set your drone out there, connect to it, send it on a trip, man. Those dongle, even the plug-in ones for your wall, man, they're like $30. You know, get a little Bluetooth controller to use with your drone and you're good to go.
But the other thing with those ones that you put into your socket in your house, have they got some sort of little transformer and they only run on 12 volts or whatever anyway? So
What's that?
Those ones that you plug into the wall, those Wi-Fi extenders or whatever, if you pull that apart, there'll be a wee transformer in there to drop it down to 12 volts or 9 volts or whatever it is. If you took that out and put it into a cigarette lighter plug for your car, you see what I mean? I'm just thinking outside the box.
Yeah. There's no Paul. I know that, man. I know. That's why the Bebop 2 can run on 5G and
2.4.
2.4. Who is Unicorn Hitman? That would happen to be Brian. His YouTube channel name is iAdventures. Drop the S off the end and put a Z, make it all one word, and you got it.
I guess they saw the Unicorn Hitman and was like, uh-oh, he's coming for us. He's on the road. He's coming down here to get us.
Yeah, it's 2.4, man. And it's, like I said, I've never seen another dongle repeater like it. I have tried probably 20 different repeaters now that everybody said was great. They don't even come close to what the capabilities of this one are. So,
Hey, Brian?
Yeah.
Dan will attest to this. Earlier, we were on a live stream, and just to give you a laugh, but instead of putting a drone worship T-shirt on down at Spin Up, after we put a Bill shirt on, everybody come up and do a group hug, and maybe be less fearful of like cyberbullying.
But what's that? Yeah, so Steve needs to be dressed as me, and then somebody needs to be dressed as Bill, and then somebody needs to play that music, dun, 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 dun. And then they can just run in slow motion at each other and hug it out, you know?
Yeah. Group hug.
Yeah.
There'll be no more cyberbullying.
And then I'm going to turn around and be like, choose your weapon. There can only be one Highlander.
Yes, Luke. Yes, Luke.
Start playing that Spock
Check that out.
Star Trek music. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my God!
Your father.
Yeah. Hey Dan, I gotta admit, you kind of made me aware. I gotta admit, I'm not the best at every single time that I light up the controller that I look and see how many satellites do I have. And this live stream actually kind of made me aware a little bit, and start to be more conscientious of it.
Yeah, it's all part of my pre-flight protocols that I go through, or my pre-flight check inspection.
I
always check
every lot, but not every single time.
Yeah, it's a good habit to get into.
Yeah.
Do you do that check when you're flying helicopters, Ron? Your satellite check for GPS?
Well, that's not my. I'm just a rider.
He just rides the man.
I'm just
You
a
don't just a rider.
I do help a lot of stuff what he's doing with navigation and stuff, the pilot, but that's his full responsibility. I do help, and I do watch for stuff, like engine failures, torque problems. Yeah.
Well, Keith, he's always on the road because right now he's currently driving to Florida to come hang with me at DW Fest this Sunday. So that's why Brian's on the road right now.
Yeah, Brian's doing a Kiwi for a change.
He's driving 1,000 miles just to come see me for my event. How about that?
That's pretty cool, man.
So that means that I have to get out my butt and drive the 150.
Yeah, Jim, get off your ass, man.
Yeah,
Come
it's 2.5 hours to drive 150 miles. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard of. I have to drive an hour north just to go west.
Aren't our highways stupid here?
They are.
Are you coming to DW Fest?
Quit your bitch, Jim, and just go.
You sent me an email saying that you were changing it from the lighthouse to.
I thought about it, Sheffield Park. I thought about it because they were already doing a drone event out there. But then the more I thought about it, the more
cares,
I didn't want to be intrusive on them because they're all going to be flying GPS and we're going to be flying a mixture of things. And so the problem is they showed up for their own drone event through Josh, which is Meetup, right?
Yeah.
And we would overpower them with our FPV platforms. They wouldn't stand a chance. Once they start plugging in those 600 milliwatts and over, man, they would just start crapping out the Aki sync left and right. There'd be a lot of upset, angry old dudes. I don't want to get beat up by a cane.
Well, plus, if you know, some of the drones you're flying would, that VRS we were talking about
Oh, yeah.
would take down a couple of others that got underneath.
Yeah, I go to these drone meets and I see people do that stupid stuff. And I go, are you aware that by flying underneath him, all you're asking for is prop wash burnout? Like, you're just going to fall out of the sky. You're going to cause your drone to have VRS because he's already pushing air downwards into the props that he's already turbulated. You know what I'm saying? And why would you fly underneath him? I could understand if there was a healthy, distance between you two, like 30 feet or so, then it's not going to really affect you. You know what I'm saying?
We don't talk about this enough. Your drone should always be at least 10 feet high to get out of its own prop wash. And if you get any wobble, the only way to get out of that is to actually move.
Okay, so I think we need to start this over so people understand what VRS is. So do you want to take it? Actually, we could probably let Ron take the first part of it because there's two sides to VRS. There's one for multi-rotor, and then there's one for what he does. Do you know the true definition of
for the copter?
Yes, for copter. Do you know what the true definition of VRS is for a copter?
Yeah, because they got two systems. They got a rudder system.
Right.
Right. Can I just say I better go and do something because the wife's going to be home shortly and I've still got housework to do.
Yeah, and Ron, take your time. I'm refreshing my coffee.
Okay.
Yeah. So, bye everybody.
Later, Kiwi. Thanks for stopping in.
I'll be listening. Hi, Brent. Bye.
Hey.
See you, Ron.
See you, buddy.
Okay. Do you know what it is considered for a helicopter?
As far as
Settling with power,
Yes. Damn, you're good. How'd you know that?
because I'm a helicopter pilot.
I'm right. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, really, Brian?
Yeah.
Well, then let Brian explain it, man.
Okay.
Often,
They're
I
a little.
didn't know, Ron, I didn't know that you didn't know that I was actually a helicopter pilot also.
no, I did not.
Yeah, I'm private. I don't have a CFI or nothing like that. I just have a private rotorcraft license I got from Titusville actually back in 2006.
Okay.
But I was actually going for commercial pilot and wanted to work my way up to EMS, and then I chose a different career path. But yeah, so to explain it, when the helicopter is within what they call ground effect,
Right.
you have all of your power and all of your air that you're circulating underneath of your bird. It'll actually it'll like make a U-turn and come down and push down on top of your propellers or your rotor, and you'll actually lose lift and the bird will fall out of the sky. If you're in a helicopter, if you're less than 25 or 30 foot, you got to get out of ground effect.
Right.
So
exactly.
actually,
If you have that problem,
it doesn't just apply with ground effect with helicopters. It has to do with descent speed. So you could descend at
you could descend faster than you're actually generating lift.
Yes, and then at that point, that's when you would free fall out of the sky, which is known as vortex ring state. right? So
Right.
multi rotors are actually. See, guys, this is why we do this, because it just helps everybody's understanding of these things. Okay, so vortex ring state plagues helicopters, which he gave us the true definition of what it is for a copter, which is settling the power.
I would have. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He did a lot better job than I would have.
Yeah, so that's known as settling the power. And for a multi-rotor, like we fly, it's called VRS, vortex ring state. And it's basically when your bird is either too heavy and you descend too fast with all that extra weight, it'll actually cause instability in the craft and it'll start to wobble. And when you see the wobble, that's the first stages of VRS happening. Okay, now if you continue to go on that path of travel and you come down too fast, what'll happen is you will actually end up sucking the air back into the propellers, causing it to stall right there mid-flight and start falling. No matter how much throttle you give it, it'll free fall like a rock out of the sky. Okay? The only way to get out of that is to give yourself forward motion, backwards, left, right, any kind of motion that doesn't include hitting the throttle.
Right.
You want to give yourself a directional path and hope that your drone can pull out of it in time. If you pick up too much speed, there's no recovery. It is going to start tumbling and then it's done for. It's just going to smash into the ground. You really have about 2 to 3 seconds to make a decision, and then it's going way too fast to stop itself, and it's pretty much over with at that point. You're not going to catch it. So it's just going to
The same thing happens in a helicopter.
Yep.
You have to, it's called an auto rotation, but you actually have to get forward cyclic in your helicopter and full left pedal and drop your collective in order to be able to perform a auto rotation. You've got about 3 seconds to make that decision. And that's true. You have to actually move forward, left, right, back, whatever, and start your auto rotation and let the fall actually spin your blades back up and get out of that vortex.
You know, it's kind of funny, but everybody's seen the movie Top Gun, right? Back in '86. Remember where they go into a flat spin?
Yeah.
Well, that's caused by the prop wash, let's call it. It's turbo wash from the jet in front of them. That air is moving faster than the intake air into his turbine engine, which puts him into a stall.
It's being thrusted out the back end at a high rate of speed that is moving faster than the turbine is pushing.
And it cuts your lift over the wings.
Right. So when it hits it, it stalls the motor.
Brian, only you can understand this, but that's why in my job, every 3 months, I got to weigh in, and we're allowed a max weight of 240 with all our gear. We actually have to go to the hospital with all our gear on, weigh in, and I can't be above 240 or I'm off the schedule. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm in a twin. Do you have your single engine or twin engine?
I actually have a turbine rating. It's a single turbine rating, but I don't have dual.
How many, what's your passenger limit, Ron?
4.
Weight limit.
Mine's 4. It's total of 5 souls on board as but I can't do it for hire until I have my commercial.
Right. Jim, to answer your question, it depends on the crew. And the helicopter I'm in now, on the average, we're about 350 to 400 as far as a patient.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because you'd be surprised, the general public would be surprised of how many fat people there actually are out there. You get the calls, I've fallen and can't get up. Well, that's because they're 400 pounds. And you know, it takes a crew to help them get up.
Yeah.
It does, Dan. I'm
almost 400 pounds, dude. I know.
I had this one woman. I'm not going to gross people out. I'll just say she had cockroaches under her breast she didn't know about.
The difference.
That's how fat she was.
Damn, you didn't have to do that, did you?
The difference is, man,
I had to sit there and help her. Go ahead, Dan.
I'm still strong enough to lift myself out of this chair by just my arms with no issue. Pick up my whole body weight. I have no problem with that. When you let yourself go too much, that's when you've overdone it. I can still get up, sit down, squat, get off the ground, do push-ups, pick my whole body weight up, all that kind of stuff. When you have to struggle to do things, that's when you've let yourself go. I've fallen and I can't get up. You know, it's like, oh, gee, who told you to weigh 1,000 pounds?
Well, there's a lot of medications that'll help you get that way too, like taking steroids.
Well, that's the problem though. That's why I got so big. I weighed 250 my whole life until I had to take medical grade steroids to rebuild all the muscle structure in my right side. I had a motorcycle accident, which is why I blew up like this. So it is what it is. It takes years to take steroid weight off. It's not easy weight to get rid of.
Hey, Brian,
Yeah.
do you miss practicing doing an auto?
I actually used to get vertigo from that. Hang on, let me place my order real quick.
Yeah, that sounds like I would too, Ron.
Yeah, I remember the first time I had to do one. I'd only been in helicopter EMS about 2 years, and I was with a Vietnam, war, pilot, and I looked up at the torque gauge on the console, and I'm like, oh crap! It was having a seizure. It was just going back and forth. I'm like, Chuck, is this normal? He goes, and just as calm as can be. It's like, crap, number one engine's going out. I'm like, okay. And then he goes, normal protocol, and Dan Brian will confirm this. Normal protocol is shut down the bad engine, throw it back to idle.
Yeah.
He shuts it down, well, number two engine starts to go. I'm like, oh, this is not good. And he's like, crap, number two's going now. I mean, just as calm as can be. Meanwhile, I'm like, tightening my seatbelts as tight as they can be.
Breaking a sweat.
Breaking a serious sweat, dude. And
Pucker factor of 10.
there was a major underwear change at least once every 10 seconds. But, we made it over to the nearby airport, and which Brian would be familiar with, what they call a single engine landing, especially if you're on twin engines. And it's where you come in and actually land like an airplane.
Right.
And then just touch down, and your skids touch down on the runway, and you land and skid right across the runway. I was, blowing place and, having underwear problems. And yeah, it was scary as hell, as smooth as can be. But I'd never experienced that before. But,
is that part of their training?
Yeah, they actually do that. I think it's 3 times a year. They actually have to go through a rotation and the single engine. We run a twin engine helicopter. Excuse me. And they have to go through that.
You're using a twin turbo jet?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So the one we're in now, we actually can. The one I started out in, if we lost an engine, we could not land. We had to do a single engine landing. The one I'm in now, if we lose one, we can actually land like a regular helicopter. We can come in and touch down. The engines are powerful enough to come in and land, softly.
Yeah.
You would normally. You would, of course. You can still land softly though. But I didn't. That's. I didn't know that you did that. That's pretty cool.
What are you guys flying? AS350s?
We have the EC 145, the old BK.
Can I get some ketchup, please?
The old BK 117s. That's the 350 there.
Thank you.
They hit the wires, huh?
Yeah.
You'll notice some of these are VRS problems. I just wanted to show some crashes due to VRS. A lot of these are just pilot failure, but you'll see VRS.
We shouldn't be showing helicopter crashes to Ron. That's that's not something he wants to go to bed on.
It's not. Yeah. Because they're not really survivable.
Well, it depends.
Yeah,
That guy survived.
you'll live in that one. Yeah.
He's dead.
Not so much on that one.
Brian, are you familiar with the old German helicopters, the BKs and the BOs?
No, I've
he's
heard of
gonna
them,
get
but I
caught
haven't.
up in the thing. Yep, he did. Wow, he landed that.
Dude, he's stuck.
That's an A-star there, yeah.
He's auto rotating from the get-go.
Too heavy. Yep. Couldn't take off. Here's a bad
It
one.
looked like a
That's a Chinook. there.
This
Yeah,
is
that's
horrible.
a 53.
Horrible.
Yeah.
VRS right here.
Oh, look at that. Jesus.
Yeah, that would suck.
Oh,
That's a
no.
Schweitzer.
That's Schweitzer and Instrom. Yeah.
God, dude. Look at how out of balance that thing is.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
I'm thinking that was all his.
Damn.
There you go. There you
That is
go.
VRS all day.
Yeah, he lost power coming in selling.
Yep.
Now he's trying to recover. Dude, he's taking on water now. He's trying to get the thing out. Dude, if you were already too heavy to take off, there's no way you were. Look at this. Like, oh, he's going to bite it. He's going to bite it. There's no way. Bite it. Bump.
Trying. I gotta give him credit.
Yeah, he tried.
Mackerel. Came down too fast. Boom. Whew. Boy, they need a drawer change after that, bro. That is VRS. Boom.
That's at an air show, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen this one. This is where it connects with the power line.
Oh,
I don't know why you were flying that low, bro. Watch what happens when his prop hits the line. Tank. Here it comes. Skidoosh. Buckle.
oh,
Wow, he came in hard.
there.
Oh.
You come down too hard and fast.
Look at this oddball.
What is this? Oh, wow, dude. What? Don't they know how to slow down? Why does it these ones that just keep crashing? They should just do away with that design.
Those are Russian, I'm betting.
Jeez, oh Pete. Well, they didn't know what they were doing. Oh,
Oh, man. Oh, missile guy.
That's exactly what happened on that one.
Dang.
Brian, if you get a chance, one of my last 4 or 5 videos has
That's
the
Russian, too.
in.
What'd you say, Dan? Ron?
I was just tell Brian the last like 4 or 5 videos together on my channel is the helicopter that I fly in.
That's transmission failure there.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, I'll go check it out.
Blades right
My
on that one.
my brother was a Kiwi mech in the Marines.
Jeez, man.
Brian can understand. You get one blade out of balance, you'll get this shit here. Oh, look at that! Holy shit!
Yeah, there's dampeners that's on every one of those blades that
Yeah,
up there where the rotor head hooks up, and then your pre-flight, you got to make sure your tie wires are good in them because those dampeners are actually like big fat blocks of rubber with a metal sleeve around them.
Whoa.
And if those are out of balance, then that'll happen.
Look at this. Look
He's
at this.
done. They jumped. He's done.
Did they jump?
Yep. Tail rotor, see it? It's just hanging.
Yeah, it's hanging.
he's throwing in some right pedal on that one.
Can you go back a second? I want to see how he got away from that. How could he jump and get away from that?
I have no idea. You can see all the parachutes though involved.
Yeah, I do. But that's
This one's nasty. I wish the camera guy wasn't so jumpy. He
yeah.
got a little too excited. They jumped, bro. They jumped.
Hey, did you guys hear about the helicopter in the Bahamas that went down that was out of Fort Lauderdale with that guy and his daughters and her little friends and all that?
Yeah, where the blade flew out into the truck and killed somebody.
No, well, tell me about it. I didn't hear about it.
Well, it's been a couple months back, but he owned a couple of coal mines up in West Virginia. He was really good friends with my uncle and my dad. And his daughter started having some health issues or whatever. In the middle of the night, they were having a birthday party out there in the Bahamas. And they got on a helicopter at like 2 o'clock in the morning. That was a rental out of Fort Lauderdale to take them back to the hospital. And they went down like 2 minutes after takeoff in the Bahamas. And it killed all of them, even the pilot and everything, But they were saying you know, in the family and stuff, because my dad and uncle still talk to the family. They were saying that it was a tail rotor failure, and the pilot, I guess, where he was just using instruments, he didn't have night vision.
Right.
He couldn't do a proper auto rotation because he got disoriented and, you know, just flying off instruments. And I know, like, you don't have to deal with that because your pilot has night vision on his helmet on any night flight. But
That's crazy.
yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy.
I'll tell you, Brian, that's one. Actually, all three of us on the crew, we were night vision. I'll tell you, I flew for 15 years without them, and then once I started, I will never fly without them again.
Yeah.
They're like a godsend, man.
Actually worked for a company back in early 80s that made them. There's so many optics in there to take the available light and magnify it, you know. They're incredible pieces of work.
Unbelievable.
Possum Pranks wants a shout out. Possum, hi.
Again?
Hey, Possum.
He wants subscribers. Show him some love.
Love you, Possum.
Love your 4 videos. And
How many subscribers does he have?
50.
Oh, that's awesome. We got to get you up over 50, bro. You'll have 55 tonight.
Yep. Awesome.
Possibly.
Making a video helps too.
Yeah.
He's a youngster, man.
I know.
Possum started his channel a couple months ago. Oh boy.
I gave Possum some love.
There you go. Yeah, he doesn't understand. I can't see the comments when I'm watching another video or something when I'm streaming it.
Well, he's got about 10 of them there. Notice me. We notice you. Hey, Possum Pranks, how you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
Oh man. So that was a fun discussion so far all night here.
Yeah.
We covered some pretty good topics. I hope people learned some stuff tonight. I really do. Pay attention to the satellites. Let me know, man. This, you know, like Ron was saying, could be speculation here, but I'm gonna assume there's more to it than just, you know, satellite position.
Yeah.
It should be pretty accessible all over the world, man. But I'm just noticing some serious changes in U.S. GPS nav system. So, you know, I ordered the U-block setup. Perks of being an open source user, I can do that. And I think we're going to see what happens.
I have no doubt, Dan, you're going to kind of keep up on this.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely, man. I feel bad for the DJI people because I don't think there's an option available open to them for like the Phantom 3 standards and stuff.
Yeah.
People still flying those that didn't ever want to upgrade and just like what they had. They're kind of in a world of hurt, I think.
Yeah. And I think part of it, well, no, maybe not.
What?
I don't know. I think part of it, like I mentioned earlier, maybe it is a marketing thing. You know, like, okay, your old Phantoms are not going to fly anymore because the old GPS system, so you need to upgrade to this. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see how that would work, actually. You'd have to send it back because you got to open it up.
I mean, I have to assume it's the result of new tech. We can't keep running on the old systems. And I get that. But I'm just upset there's no option available for these people that still need that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like when they dropped analog TV. I never saw the reason for that. I would have loved to have still had analog signal going to my TV. You know? That was nice, being able to get all those free channels. And you could still do it, but then you had to go buy that stupid digital thing that picked up the HD channels. And, like, just now you're adding unnecessary stuff. They never use those frequencies for anything, so why do away with them, you know?
I mean, Brian, you know, I guarantee you look like a fairly young guy. I can guarantee you probably never heard or used a Loran C, correct?
A what?
Used a what?
Loran C. He has no idea what I'm talking about.
No.
And that's what we used when I first started helicopter EMS. That was our navigation with Loran C. That was our quote GPS system. That's what we
I call them
programmed.
Lowrances, but they went to Garmin and
Yeah.
what else? What was it? And then they went to Rockwell Collins. You know, have you ever been around Rockwell Collins?
Yeah. And right now we have the Garmin G1000 in our helicopters and the fixed wing, and those things are, oh my God, they're phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
They have everything in them, everything from lightning strikes to your coordinates to approach plates to everything.
That's the funny thing, though. Garmin is phasing out. The old Garmin stuff is phasing out because it's all running HDOP.
Yeah.
You can go to any thrift store, not thrift store. What are those places that you go?
Pawn shop.
Pawn shop. You can go to any pawn shop and get an old Garmin Nuvi B220 or something like that for like $10 now.
Yeah.
And they don't work. You buy it and they don't do anything. You turn it on, it says this system is not available anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, why? Because it runs on old HDOP settings. You know, they just did away with the protocol. So it's exactly what's happening now. They're bumping in new phases of satellite use, and they're getting you know, it just sucks that you know, as a solo user, it's not bad for me because I can just do an upgrade, open source. But the DJI guys, man, they're stuck.
Yeah.
You know, unless somebody comes up with an option or DJI steps up to the plate, which you know they're not going to. It's a phased out bird. Why would they help you fix an old bird when they can just sell you a new one?
They're not going to.
For them, it works out perfect.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
I don't think the drone manufacturers have enough reach to get in bed with SpaceX and Blue Origin and NASA and all that to start, instigating a swap out. But
it works to their advantage.
It's real funny. Yeah, it all. I mean, it's just. I mean, it's hard to say how it all boils down. But I mean, you know, you just like a lot of people don't really put a lot of thought into what's really going on out there. You know, like SpaceX is testing these rockets, you know, these autonomous rockets that land on their own. They're using DJI Inspire 2s with X7s to actually film those test launches.
Yeah.
Which again is a $8,000 camera setup. Just the camera, $8,000.
Probably, yeah.
I had the opportunity to buy an Inspire 2 with 2 controllers and a bunch of batteries, no camera, for $2,000 a day.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, it's a great deal, but
because I have an X5S, I have an X4S, put it right on there, you know.
Yeah.
But probably, Brian, in 3 to 6 months, that's going to be super old technology. You know, that's why it's going so low.
No, but he's duplicating what he already has.
Yeah.
I use an X4S on my M210 a lot. Just because it's nice and light, and you know, I only need 20 megapixel RGB just to take my 5 shots for the power company, and you know,
now,
I mean, the X5S is nice if you want to make some cinematic shots, or if you want to, you know, drop your aperture down and make something look like a movie or something. That's kind of neat. But I don't use that X5S $2,500 camera to do inspection work.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah. I like it.
Who's your insurance policy through?
Oh, I'll just use Skywatch or Verifly.
Oh, really? You should get you one from BWI, man. That's incredible. I pay $1,200 a year, and they cover $16,000 on my bird and $1 million GL. So if I have a total loss on my bird, obviously I've got the controller in my hand, and I've got the charging station and the batteries in the truck. They cover $16,000 on the bird, total loss, and $1 million GL, and it's $100 a month. No matter how many times you fly 50 times a day, 3 o'clock in the morning, they got you. All you got to do is call them and say, I lost my drone, and they'll send you a check.
What company is that?
BWI Fly. They're the same people that insure aerobatic airplanes, like the extra 300s and all that.
Yeah.
It's called BWI Fly. It's amazing, and you only have to pay like $250 to get your policy started. You got to give them the serial number of your thermal camera, and you have to give them the serial number of your M210. They don't ask you anything else as far as like, your X4S or anything. They don't give a shit about that because that's a $400 camera. Then they'll cover a flat 16 grand on the thermal camera and the bird.
Sweet.
Dan, I'm sitting here thinking about, when you sit and think about like DJI, they really haven't come out with anything in the past year. And kind of on the topic what we're talking about tonight, are they sitting back? I mean, we're sitting here tonight as a group speculating, about GPS systems.
Well, I mean, we're touching on some of it, but as Steve just pointed out, we did research this last night. We went to gps.gov, and that's how we found out about a lot of the decommissioning of the old satellites.
Right.
So a majority of what we're talking about tonight is accurate information.
Right.
Okay. The difference is now we're speculating as to why we think they're doing away with it. But I think the general consensus that we know about is tech. I mean, it's older tech. They're trying to get stuff on newer stuff. It just sucks for the people still trying to use the old stuff.
And you think that's the reason why, like they said, in the past year, we haven't seen a new drone out with DJI. Are they waiting to see what the latest tech is out in, GPS?
Well, they've come out with their commercial stuff, the RTK P4 and the Agris or the new whatever it is M1 sprayer drone.
Right. But I said they haven't come out with anything. Are they waiting to see? Is there something coming out with new GPS? Why they're producing?
Not only that, remote ID.
Yeah, they're not coming out with anything with the consumer and or the commercial market.
Well, if the truth is told, they are because of the Mavic Mini. However, I think that's a very basic buy. What was the price? Like $399.
They just released the multispectral.
Right. So they did do the multispectral, but that's still a Phantom 4. That's all they did was add the stupid.
That's a Phantom 4 RTK with a stupid camera on.
Yeah, they just put a big dumb solo cup on the top of it.
Yeah.
And
the only reason for that Mavic Mini is a stuffing stalker. That's all that is.
No, I agree with that. I don't disagree with that. But I'm saying they are doing a release, so we can't say they're not. They are doing a release. And then, do I think they're going to drop the Mavic 3? Yes. Do I think they're going to drop it by the date they're specifying? No. I think it's going to be released a little bit later. And I think the only reason if they do a Mavic 3 release is because it has to compete in some format with Skydio.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they would be stupid not to do a release right coming into the beginning of next year. There has to be something to trigger the excitement back into the DJI world, because I promise you the Mini's not going to do it. People are going to be like, well, that's 4K, but Wi-Fi. I'm not interested.
You think the Skydio gave DJI like, oh my God, what the hell?
No, I think it gave them a kick in the butt, though. I doubt they wanted to release some of the tech they're going to have to release now. You know what I'm saying? I will make you a bet they had no plans to release a more aggressive autonomous platform until way later on. Skydio had to push their hand on this one, so I have a feeling we're going to see a beacon of sorts that will be introduced to the Mavic platforms that are already out there, as well as the Mavic 3. I think the beacon could be as easy as just adding in it as a firmware update if they really wanted to. And if Skydio does as well as I think they're going to do, I wouldn't put it past DJI not to try to come up with the same rig.
You got to remember that Skydio, they put the NVIDIA Jetson TX2 computer on their drone, right? And that's what runs their navigational software.
Right.
DJI's had that out for years, but they call it the DJI Manifold and the Manifold 2. They're just not incorporating it into the bird. You got to buy it extra. But here you have Skydio making it part of the bird, all for $9.99. Where can Skydio go from there? Nothing but up. Nothing but up. Put a good camera on it, make it a beefier drone. You got a commercial drone.
Yeah, I agree with Jim.
Did you watch my video I made the other night before last, about the Skydio 2?
No, I haven't seen anybody's really. I've been editing.
I mean, it's not clickbait. I put it out there talking about, you know, like you and I as commercial pilots, how amazing. Could you imagine how amazing the technology in a Skydio 2 would be in an M210 platform? Bigger, heavier, not affected by wind and weather, with a good camera, 20 megapixel sensors, you know, thermal imaging possibly.
DJI
And,
makes it
you know,
so hard.
not have to worry.
Yeah, they make it so hard to use that tech. Okay, I can buy the manifold too. Well, where am I strapping it to on the M210? If I strap it to the top, then I can't use my camera on top. You know what I'm saying, Brian?
I mean, it does have it does have upward.
Hello.
Sorry, I had to reject that phone call. It does have upward facing sensors, but it doesn't have nowhere near the technology and the obstacle avoidance the Skydio 2 does.
Agreed. And in fact, most of the time you got to shut off your DJI sensors if you want to fly in tight spaces anyway.
Well,
Like if
I
you're
remember
going to go under a bridge, you got to shut them off.
I had to do that yesterday.
I remember down in Daytona Beach, whenever we were doing some inspections there last year, we were in a residential area, and you know, the power company that we were working for said, you know, we have to have 5 images of every KML file, and if you miss one, then we're going to send you back out there to get it. So we were trying to get in this residential area, and if you can think about the trees that basically they grow together and make a canopy, and the power line runs right in those trees because they haven't been cut back in years. That's why we were doing the inspection, was to see, you know, the down lines, that way they could see what they needed to cut back. And I'm underneath the trees looking through them, trying to get my drone shot up on top, looking down at the poles. And I had to actually fly in like a little like a tunnel, and then hook a right and then come back in order to be able to get that shot.
Like going through a pocket of branches.
Yeah. And if it was a Skydio 2 and it was allowing me to not hit anything at all, and you know, you could just push your stick forward, go in, turn right, go in, back up, you're there. You don't have to worry about anything. And you had to come out the same way. You couldn't go out the top because it had a canopy over top of it.
Right.
You know, I mean, just for that as an example, you know, the M210 did well, but
Did you use the X4 or did you use the Z30?
I was using an X4.
Okay. All right. The other thing about the Skydio, it's either 3 feet or 3 meters that its navigational system is keeping you away from, or it away from anything. I think it was 3 feet. But so I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that would or not be a problem. But it's still, you know, the 2015 sensor of the old like the Zoom. It's the 1/2.3 CMOS sensor from Sony. Which is why I say that Skydio has nowhere to go but up. Look, their R1 was just an adventure on their part. This one, they reduced it with better tech. They've got better tech with the 6 cameras than they had with the 12. They put the Jetson on there. You know, look, they come up with a better camera. Forget about it. They've already partnered with Drone Deploy, but you're using 12 megapixel pictures, which even your real estate people want 20 megapixel pictures.
Yeah, well, they're working on
better.
something, because I got an email from them today, and they said that they had an Enterprise Skydio 2.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
Shit.
because I told him go ahead and chuck it my way, but I don't have Billy Kyle subscribers, so
Yeah. Well, I'm a heavy hitter there, Brian. I got like 700, man.
oh well, you're good then. You're in the game.
I'm gold.
For the fences.
Yeah, Tech Tip Tricks says they also have an enterprise solution to lower that distance down to 100 millimeters.
Well, they're going to send that to Bill, the drone reviewer, for him to review because he's
Oh,
an
yeah.
enterprise pilot.
Yeah. Well, he can go over his little backyard reservoir.
I can't wait for him to do the Fluidity 2 transmitter.
Oh my God.
The Aviator Plus. Yeah, get it.
Are they
Ben.
revising it so that because Bill wrecked it?
Yeah.
He crashed their business.
Yep. Pretty much. Introducing the Aviator 2 with our silly friend Bill. Oh my God.
You just know.
Val, get the goddamn drone.
Oh my God, that was your favorite too.
You hear her say that in the background. That's the funniest part about it, man. You go, oh my God, that's your favorite one too.
Yeah.
God damn it. Ah.
As
Oh,
he's running through the house, screaming, going out the front door, forgetting all about return home. Yep. Look at Ron. That's what he was doing.
can you imagine how crazy his neighbors must have thought he was at that point? Looking like the Tasmanian devil just tearing through the house.
Wish I'd been hyperventilating when I was doing this.
I'll be 100% honest with you guys, man. I think I slightly peed my pants when he hit that home button 47 times.
That was funny as hell.
Beep, 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 beep. He was sending Morse code
Yep.
to China.
Steve and I were talking about that while Dan was already making a video about that. It don't work like that. Just
We had a
press it
ringtone.
and hold it.
We made it into a ringtone after 40 minutes. It was epic. I still have it. It's
I got
great.
I do.
I got it. Turkey breast or whatever it is.
You got a ringtone on that?
Yeah, we turned it into a rap song ringtone.
I would love to hear that.
Oh,
It's funny, man.
you hear all the beeps.
Jim,
Bring it to DW Fest. I want to hear it.
Oh, I'll give it to you. I'll send it to you as an MP3 file so you can put it as your ringtone. We got Tater bringing up the rear with his parody video about Bill and the Phantom 5. Did you guys see that?
No.
No, I haven't seen the video, but
That was epic.
is it Mark's video?
Huh?
Mark's got a video out on it?
Yeah, Tater.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a whole playing his guitar, singing about Bill the drum reviewer and the Phantom 5.
Oh, dude, you guys
Oh man.
don't hold that from me.
It is hilarious. Oh my God, is it good?
That is great. I'm excited now.
I downloaded it, man. I'll see. Well, it might be a little too loud, but I'll try to play it. There is a drone from DJI.
Oh, that one.
It's
yeah,
called-
I
I
did
ain't heard
see
it.
that. I
Yeah,
did
it's
see that.
called the Phantom 5. It's epic, man.
Yeah, Paul, I love their what they've got on board. They've got a supercomputer on board. The Jetsons been doing computer vision and machine learning for a long time. In fact, they have their own video channel for the NVIDIA Jetson 1 and Jetson TX1 and TX2. Love the thing.
All right, he calls it House of the Rising Drone, featuring Tater Rogers.
Play that bad boy.
I can't because you won't be able to hear it, but what I am going to do is put it in the link for anybody who wants to watch it. So there you go. Tater's dropping the parody video on Bill the Drone Reviewer.
Steve put it up too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There it is. Nobody talk.
drawn by DJ.
Too loud. Make it a little lower.
That's too low now.
Yeah.
But you only hear it from one man. Oh, the eternal ways. Always a drawn from the Bill Coles, little friend.
Sorry.
He swears that drum will be in his hands around Christmas time.
Dan, you want me to share this?
Yeah, I mean, we already did. It's in the thing. Somebody's saying echo. I wasn't getting any echo.
Oh,
No,
okay.
the eco drone.
Oh,
I'll keep playing it.
Is a guy in Florida who tried to stick with his drum. But when he woke up in Christmas, he didn't return home.
beep, 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 beep.
Mic drop.
The look on his face was priceless.
Dude,
Bro.
that was epic, man. That makes me want to make a rap video about it. He's got empty boxes all up on his shelf. Oh yeah, it would be great. That's badass. I want to hear that ringtone.
It's funny.
Dan, you should let me share the look on his face at the end.
Yeah.
Let me share this, dude.
Tater with the big face drop.
Yeah.
Where is Bill now? His career was destroyed.
Shit, he's got 7,500 subscribers. Him and Val's going strong.
Oops.
Does he?
Can you see my screen, Dan?
Where's his face?
Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
Can you get that full size?
Then you gotta make it bigger, bro.
Not part of the dream.
It's not
Ron,
part
why
of
is that so small?
Hold on.
You got to share. You got to click the close the windows.
Yeah.
Or make them, minimize them.
There you go. Oops. Okay. Things are happening. I see a porn. I see porn link. There's porn link.
I see people.
Find the link again. There it is.
Yeah, there he is. Tighter.
Oh,
Here it comes. Here it comes. Ring it, ding it, ding.
Look at his face.
Playing the heck out of that guitar too. Here it comes. Oh, Darren, of course we have. What you think of that, Bill?
That was priceless, man.
Oh my God. No, it's epic, man. It's funny. It is easily comparable to the ringtone.
Yeah, that's
Except the ringtone is his voice completely amplified, so you hear everything that he was saying the whole time. And the main beat is him pushing the return to home button. Beep, 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 beep. It's epic. Can you play that one, Turkey Gizzard? Don't you have it?
no.
I got it.
Can you play it?
How are you going to hear it?
You're gonna play it through your microphone like he did. Somebody
Let
tell
me find it.
Yeah, it's like turkey neck or something.
I haven't seen
Jesus Christ, my neck looks like a vagina.
Turkey something. I got to look for it now.
That's like turkey neck or turkey neck gizzard or something like that. I forgot what-
Have you ever can you remember watching the movie Armageddon?
Yeah.
Remember when the guy and the old lady was in the telescope and he was looking up at that asteroid and he started yelling at her to go get the book?
Go get the goddamn Baba.
That's what I thought about whenever I watched that with Val and Bill. I was like, holy shit. It's comical.
Yeah. I want to name it Dottie after my wife. And she's like, oh, and he's like, she's a blood-sucking bitch from hell that there's no escape.
But the best part when he was like, go get the book, go get the book, go get the goddamn book. It was like, go get the drone, go get the drone, go get the goddamn drone. I would like to take that clip from Armageddon and dub that video
Into it. That's what we should have done when we made it originally. Not that you can't redo it now. I still
It's turkey burgers.
Yeah, turkey burgers.
Can do it.
Are we going to be able to hear this, or is it going to be too much?
I'm fine. I'm really fine. Well, I can't understand this. Remember, it's a great day at 8 o'clock. And I'm really fine. He's like, well, this way you can see it. I can see it now. I hear it. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, it's a great day to fly.
Turkey burgers.
Oh man, that hurt.
Dude, your speaker muffled it a bit, but when he's in the front yard, like, fuck it, where the fuck is it? You can hear all of that. I had to amplify the volume to like 400% just to catch everything and then try to cut out all the background noise because it was in the front of his house and the camera had just barely audible.
I don't know how it caught it with him running through the house. He must have had the controller in his hand.
Dude, it was funny. So anyways, that's turkey burgers. We made that, me and Dad Random put our heads together to come up with that fun one. So if anybody wants that ringtone, we can definitely put that on a Google Drive for download for anybody who wants a epic ringtone based on Bill.
I saved that one, brother.
Whose flush is that?
Nobody's flushing. That's Brian putting his window down.
Oh.
Just whipping a cigarette out the window.
Smoking.
See that, man? You're littering on camera. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. Cray.
Cray. I can't believe we still have 20 people in here. Oh, by the way, don't forget to smash the like button. For the haters that are watching, I hope you enjoyed that because I thought it was funny as hell. Dude, 3 hours. We've invested 3 hours into this stream. Is that Mel? Sounds like Mel.
I don't know the answer.
Huh?
Oh, I know what you're watching. I know what you're listening
You never
to.
do come on my show, Bill. But anyway, you don't like me, so you don't come to my stream. At least I come and watch yours. Yeah, you come to threaten me. You come to disrupt me, Bill. You did last week.
We need to make that a ringtone.
Yeah, we could probably do that.
Back to work.
Was that from the stream where he was convinced to take down the video?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He had to be convinced to take that embarrassing monstrosity down.
Yep.
Why would you even load that? I mean, like, wow. What was you thinking?
Why did he load the nose picking one? He
was live
holding
streaming
his-
from his phone and he hit the end live stream and then started picking his nose because it still
Yeah,
picks
but-
up for like another 10 seconds after
How
you hit
hard
the
is
end button.
just to do this though?
Yeah, but he posted it up on YouTube. Even if we assume he's never watched his own videos, yeah, I have to say that 8,000 people have told him about it. Hey, Bill, you know you're picking your nose on screen.
What link, Mike? What link are you looking for? You keep saying link. What link? What's he looking for?
The link to the nose picking, the link to the when he was on Mel's stream is when about 5 other people were on with him telling him to take that damn thing down. You're embarrassing all of us.
Oh, the link to when he was in
The link to what?
where he was. They asked him to take down the link that to his video where he was doing the Scottio. Thing.
Oh no, he's been asking for the link way before that. Let's see.
No, but on Mel's thing that day, they said, "Hey, we're like 10 people. We're like, yo, dude, instead of keep trashing Ken, you need to stop. You need to take down your own link on your own page."
Yeah.
Is he going to spin up to hang out with all of his buddies?
Can you imagine him being there? I would be so embarrassed. I couldn't if I was him.
Building, if you knew who we were talking about, you'd understand why. Some people are just meant for YouTube and some people aren't. I don't like channels that just skate through it by just getting views by coming up with just bogus information and pushing it off on a bunch of newbies who don't know any better.
For instance, all the boxes behind him are actually bought. They're empty boxes, and he bought the empty boxes. As if to
His
represent.
buddy does the same shit. He's got all those empty boxes behind his shit.
I didn't know you could buy empty boxes.
I didn't realize you could buy subscribers either until a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you guys were talking about that, and I'm telling you what, man, I know another YouTube channel. The dude
Yeah, I do
had
too.
he had 11,000, and he went to 24,000 overnight. And he didn't put nothing new out, no great, wonderful shit. He only has 1,200 followers on Instagram. And I texted him and asked him, I said, dude, how did you go up, like 12, 14,000 subscribers in 24 hours? And he was like, I don't know, man. I guess just a lot of people's watching my shit. And I said, no, there ain't no way, man. Don't pull my chain. He was like, well, he said, I had this guy, I paid him $500 and it just happened. It magically happened. And I'm like, yeah, well, you're going to get hit on that, And he hasn't so far, but it's funny.
It can change its form. It can dry up in the sun and blow away to the wind. It still doesn't change the fact it's a piece of shit.
Hey, Captain Cook, what's up?
Yep.
Yeah, there's another guy who buys 10 daily. And recently I've been watching DJI take the 10 away from him. It goes back and forth, 10 up, then 10 down. Watch it on the blade. That's, I'll just say his name is Art. Magically made it to 1,000 subscribers.
Guys, it's 3 hours in. I think I'm getting ready to call this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got to stop and get coffee and drive to Florida. So
Yeah, Drone Worship Fest is waiting for you, bro. It's only a couple days away.
Yeah.
I got to be in Orlando tomorrow. So for all the troll billies out there, I'll be my famous ass will be at the Orlando Convention Center with an M1000 DJI 720p resolution thermal camera inspecting the roof. If you believe that, meet me there.
Who dat aficionado wants to know what the GPS conversation was about? Quick overview before we roll out. Basically, man, they're decommissioning a bunch of old satellites that used to run HDOP, which is what a lot of Navi systems run on. Some of the older Navi system platforms like DJI, 3DR Solo, some of the old GPS stuff that doesn't have GLONASS or any of that stuff in the system. So basically, if you're running a bird from 2015 and back, if it doesn't have GLONASS, it's going to start having some pretty serious GPS connection issues here, and finding GPS is going to be really hard as they decommission through the SpaceX program. So, yeah, man. Basically, if you have a 3DR Solo, there's an answer. If you don't have one, I'm sorry for the DJI owners, because I don't think there's anything available to you to switch your GPS out with. And I don't think there will be unless somebody figures out how to crack it and install their own stuff, So as far as we know, Jim, there's no crack for it, right? Nobody's being able to.
No, that's why they're putting them up, because, in fact, the military wants them unjammable.
Let's see here. Phantom 3. 3 STD. That's so weird. Phantom 3 STD. GPS upgrade. Let's see if it's possible.
Well, hey guys, I'll let you go. Dan, I know you're wanting to quit.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah. Oh, I always have fun with you guys, man. Let's try this again. Okay. DJI replacement. Oh no, here we go. Is this an upgrade or not? DJI Phantom 3 module part 1. DJI 3 GPS replacement part 1. This will work with the Phantom 3 Advanced Professional. Yeah, that's what I thought. It doesn't work with the standard 3. So there's no current GPS modification available for the Phantom 3. So those of you that own a Phantom 3, you may start running out of the ability to fly it here in the near future. And some of the older DJI platforms.
That sucks.
That does suck. Buy open source. You won't have this problem. What?
All right, guys. Hey,
All right, man.
thanks, Dan. Jim, chat at you later.
All right, brother.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Toodaloo. Don't forget to smash the like button on the way out of here, guys. Jim, anything else you want to say?
Nah, I think we've covered it.
I think so, too. I think we beat it pretty much senseless at this point.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Yep. Later, Ron.
See you later. I'm outie.
Boop. Good night, building. Bye, Truth. Bye, Kiwi. Bye, Captain. Bye, Sean. Bye, Mike B. Bye, Steve. Bye, Thomas. Bye, Whodat. Do. Toot the view, drone shots. Good night, 1, 2, 3. Hi, guys. I'm out. Toot the view.